Your favorite compas have another jam-packed episode of Lunes Live. Yes, we are back after a very much needed 2-week hiatus. Gilberto Manzano, Fernando Ramirez. On today's show, we will let you guys know what we have been up to this past few weeks. Plus, we get you guys all ready for NFL training camp, which and some place has already started. But obviously, we will have Vic, the producer, on, who will have rapid fire. Dan and Dago will be here for 10-ish good minutes. And time permitting, we will have avocado roast and una más. All right, Gilberto, don't you have an engagement question for the listeners and or viewers?
Yes, I do. We are back for NFL training camp, and I'm seeing my Wi-Fi's a little spotty, but you can hear me, right? Give me a thumbs up, Fernando. Okay, thumbs up. Training camps are here, and the cool thing about this year, Chargers, Rams, Raiders, Saints, all new locations within a 20-mile radius. So we have a lot of content here in our backyard. But for the entire NFL, you saw that throw. Mahomes to Xavier Worthy. Where are you, Dan and Diego? People are already excited. But let me know, what is the biggest storyline in the NFL? Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL for his first NFL training camp. Maybe it's the Rams without Aaron Donald. I don't know. Not an exciting news there. You want to see Aaron Donald on the field? Maybe Aaron Rodgers back with the Jets. Maybe he stays healthy. Or maybe Davante Adams, Raiders trade rumors. Not really rumors. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let me know in the comments, and it's good to be back. What is the biggest NFL training camp storyline?
Let's go with the intro.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So we're Compas.
Yeah, we are.
There you go. Hey.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Dago is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
what's up, Fernando? To keep tradition alive, I have a brand new complaint. Like, I'm just thinking about it. I'm so annoyed. I was checking our live feed here. YouTube, perfect. YouTube is always great. We're not live on Twitter for some reason. And I just double checked. You got to have a premium account to go live on Twitter, X now, whatever the heck you want to call it. So that was disappointing. Hopefully people could figure it out from our Twitter community or X.
Yeah, I just saw, or maybe Compas is gonna have to go.
We gotta pay
on Twitter.
We gotta pay.
Yeah, that's the $8. I think it's $8 a month or something like
to
that.
go live.
Yeah. It's to get to, like, basically they would have the blue check mark. You know that blue check mark that you had for 8 months.
So for $8.
So,
yeah,
I know.
I feel lonely. Or people on Twitter don't know, but whatever.
I know, for real. But or we can just start announcing it on Twitter, I guess. As
Dan or Victor do a tweet. Go to YouTube live. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Angel already started off. He said, "Don't start pissing off Dan already." Yeah,
I know. Sorry. I just. But also part of my pet peeve: people losing their minds for a pass in training camp. Xavier Worthy to Mahomes to Worthy. Like, come on, let's relax. He's not going to be the next Tyreek Hill just off of one pass in training camp.
Everybody's so excited about. But I mean that was bound to happen. I mean, there's just. Right now, there's not really a lot going on, and when it comes to training camp, I mean, I know the Chiefs are in. Like, everybody was making a big deal about Travis Kelce's mustache the other day. So yeah, I mean, mustache is this, that. I know you have one, but people are making a big deal about everything going on. The big news to me was Jordan Love holding in during this week, according to the Green Bay Packers. Gunter Kuntz talked about it and said that they feel like they're close. Who knows nowadays, Gilbert, what close is? But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how many more hold-ins there are, because let me tell you right now, Gilbert, you have Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa, you have Tyreek Hill. I'm just gonna throw his name out there. Davante Adams is a name that I would look out for as well. Especially with everybody else getting traded and everything, getting paid. Brandon Aiyuk is another one that obviously we're gonna have to hit on. But those are some of the names right now.
What about Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb?
I think CeeDee Lamb's going to be the one that gets paid. We'll get into that in a bit, but I think CeeDee Lamb has to be the priority for these guys. But real quick, Gilbert. Oh, and Hendrickson, Jamar Chase, those guys I also have some question marks of because right now, Gilbert, a little bit ago, Bengals president Mike Brown on a potential contract extension for wide receiver Jamar Chase via Adam Schefter. And I quote, it's not so likely that this is the good time to negotiate. The offseason is a better time for that, and we're going to try to keep focus on that, on the football part. I'm not going to rule anything out, but I will tell you that the die has probably been cast.
The die has probably been cast.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not. Well, I'm not surprised because it is the Bengals. They're known for waiting to the last minute. And then I also thought too, like maybe for all parties, I wrote about this. Like the second that Justin Jefferson set the bar, and like the only player that could maybe say pay me like Justin Jefferson is CeeDee Lamb and then Jamar Chase. So like when you have an extra year in your contract, CeeDee Lamb is due for a contract right now, but Jamar Chase could wait. And if you bet on yourself, maybe you could pass Justin Jefferson in a year. So if you're the Bengals, you're probably thinking like either you get a discount right now in some way, or I don't know. I just don't get what the Bengals are doing. You should treat them like Joe Burrow, but they're not. But whatever. That's just my initial thoughts on that.
Yeah. No, I think I told you, Gilbert. I mean, you and I have talked about it a lot. I think the NFL is reactive a lot of the times instead of being proactive. Proactive to me is getting Jamar Chase done, especially right now. Because what if CeeDee Lamb exceeds Justin Jefferson's contract, and then Jamar Chase comes back to you and says, "Hey, I wanna exceed what CeeDee Lamb just got." So I just think that's kind of what happens here, and I mean that's why Joe Burrow, all these guys, like you have to be proactive and try and get him signed. I mean, what you're really gonna let Jamar Chase leave, or you're gonna trade him? No, you're gonna have him on your team. You might as well just get it done. And then you already said T. Higgins. Most likely you will not be bringing him back. So you might as well get Jamar Chase already done and ready to go and not have to worry about that. But that is just how some of these teams are, Gilbert. And I mean, you know how it is. But I think the Browns are making a mistake. I think they should be the Bengals. I think they should be pro, especially with some of the beef that they already have with T. Higgins, Trey Hendrickson. Like you already have kind of it's a little uneasy there. And I mean, the Bengals are good at keeping things quiet, but there has to be an unease there right now with what's going on and how some people have wanted new contracts and all this stuff. So that's going to be a team to keep an eye on. But real quick, Gilbert, I'll get your thoughts. Angels wondering what you guys think about Brandon Aiyuk to the Chargers. I'm going to be honest.
Hey.
I don't think the Chargers would have gotten rid of Keenan Allen. And I know Keenan Allen's like 6 years older or 5 years older than Brandon Aiyuk, but you don't get rid of $24 million and then turn around and pay somebody $30 million. I'd be very surprised if they did that. I know the Chargers have a lot of money coming up next offseason, but you have to take care of Rashawn Slater. You have to see what Asante Samuel is going to be. So, I mean, there's just they're going to want to spend money elsewhere, I'm sure, instead of spending it on Brandon Aiyuk too. I don't think they're going to give up a first-round draft pick for him or Joey Bosa. I think that Jim Harbaugh has been has been an advocate for we want to beat our defense with the pass rushers. Right now, they have 4 solid pass rushers that could affect the game. Why get rid of that? Why shake things up? I don't see it happening. And then the first-round draft pick, I think I was telling Gilbert the other day in our group chat, there's 3 really good players coming out of Michigan next year. And I know he's not just going to go for Michigan players, but there is a very good tight end, a very good cornerback, and a very good wide receiver. The Chargers need help on all 3 areas.
And I think the defensive tackle, too, might be top 10.
Yeah, the defensive tackle. They need help in all 4 of those areas. So why not just wait and next offseason get a receiver that's going to be a lot cheaper? You're going to have him on a cheaper contract for 4 or 5 years. So I don't think Brandon Aiyuk is coming to the Chargers. I'd be very surprised if they did that. That's just from what I've gathered in the first 6 months of the Jim Harbaugh era. That's not a move that Jim Harbaugh is going to make. What says you, Gilberto Antonio Manzano?
Yeah, you got my middle name right. It's not Alejandro, it's Juan. See, I always want to say Alejandro.
I love it when you try and guess mine, but no, you got it right the second
But
time.
I got it right. But people don't like when I say this because people don't like this word, but it's kind of like a feel out year. You want to get the foundation going. You want to know the philosophy. You want to just be in line with the new GM or the new coaching. So there's a lot of players who are like, okay, let's see what you're about. Let's see what you got. And then if you fit that culture and you feel the Jim Harbaugh way and the Joe Ortiz way, then you're in for year 2, year 3, year 4. You're a core guy. You're a blue chip guy. You're a foundational piece. And friend, I think right now the Chargers are trying to figure out Ladd McConkey. You're a second round pick. Are you that guy? Or even a first round pick like Quentin Johnson, like very talented. If you catch the freaking football, let's give you a year and find out. Maybe Joshua Palmer, who's in a contract year, let's give you a year and find out. I think maybe in year 2, if wide receiver is still an issue, you go get a premium guy. You go pay the cost. And also, too, like it's kind of hard when you have Justin Herbert on a massive contract, too. Like you're not like the Commanders could get Brandon Aiyuk or the Patriots could get Brandon Aiyuk because you have Jaden Daniels and Drake May on rookie deals. But it just feels like a year where Harbaugh's like, you know what? I'm going to coach my ass off. I'm going to help this team win close games. But who's going to be here for the long haul? And you got enough young wide receivers to try to figure it out. And say a year goes by, like I mentioned, and you're still hurting and you're still like, where are the pieces for Justin Herbert? And then I think the next year will be that year. But again, people don't like when I say this kind of feed. I'm not going to call it a rebuild because Harbaugh deserves respect from what is his past credentials. But it's one of those years where you got to just see who's that guy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And with obviously, we've both covered the LA team. So let's start off there real quick with the Charger side of things. What did you make of the Deion Henley interview and what I talked about with him?
I want to give you a shout out for the interview with Deion Henley. And the first thing I thought, Fernando, when I was going through your video before we posted it, I'm like, hey, this is a good interview. He's a good talker. This guy's a second-year player, pretty much a rookie. That was a fun interview. And then the second that you asked him about Jim Harbaugh, and he said, I'm going to give you behind the scenes. That's when I was like, oh, okay, what do you got here? And he pretty much just said everybody wanted Jim Harbaugh. Everybody was checking their phones, hire Jim Harbaugh. The group text was, having a good time when he was a hired coach. And then Deion Henley saying, you know what, the second that we got our guy, it was more like, let's get down to business because this guy's hard to, get to prove yourself to the guy and also get the trust of the coach because he's known to be a hard ass. He's also energy and fun, but when it comes to the nitty gritty, he's a hard ass. He's a tough ass. You better impress Jim Harbaugh immediately. So that was pretty cool to see that, Fernando. And then your interview going off with Jesse Minter, because honestly, the most fascinating storyline for me for the Chargers, because I know we're going to get a Jim Harbaugh. You're going to be tough. You're going to build the trenches. You're going to be building the offensive line, the running game, all that. You want to build around Justin Herbert. But I want to see what Jesse Minter is going to do because he's still somewhat of a young coordinator, 40 years old. Reminds me of CM Punk in terms of the looks there. But to go from the college game to the pro game and doing what Mike McDonald did for Ravens now with Seattle Seahawks, I just want to see that defense do something because that's kind of like the weak link right now, even though you do have issues with wide receiver being too young. But I just want to see what Jesse Minter has and what's he about. And to hear Henley say, like, hey, honestly, I wasn't used right in Brandon Staley's scheme. I want to be used properly here. Let's see what happens with Junior Colson. What happens with Denzel Perriman. Pretty cool to see all the linebackers come out to support at the camp for Deion Henley, by the way.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's funny. So you're telling me that Jesse Minter should, when he comes out during the games, he should go, it's clobbering time, and then freaking have a best in the world shirt.
If I get a chance to talk to him, I'm going to say, hey, has anybody told you you look like CM Punk? Let's see what
I can't wait for that. I was really, so obviously Denzel Perriman's coming in from Houston, and obviously he said he didn't say it wasn't a no-brainer. He told me that he had other teams that were interested in him, but when he thought, well, reuniting with Justin Herbert, then I see what Jim Harbaugh is doing, then I see some of the players in here, how could I say no? So Deion Henley really broke it down. He's like, we're about confusing the offense, not like kind of and fitting the scheme that could fit our players. We've all known, and we've all talked about it in depth. That was a level of frustration with Brandon Staley, that he would say, no, it is about my defense. Let's run my defense. Let's do what my defense says, and you guys need to fit it. That was and that's the thing, Gilbert. When Brandon Staley came in, he said, I want to use my defense to fit the players that I have. he didn't end up doing that. And you could tell there was frustration, especially in that Chiefs game, where I think in the first half, Travis Kelce had over 100 yards and a touchdown or two. And then in the second half, they come out and they play man defense, and they were able to slow down the Chiefs. I think a kickback return from McCole Hartman was kind of what put the nail in the coffin. But that's kind of the level of frustration. And here it seems like Jesse Minter and Jim Harbaugh are going to try and run a different kind of style of defense. Look, I've said it. I think their defensive line has some question marks. I'm not talking about Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. I'm talking about, you have Puna Ford, but then you have some other pieces where Otito Ogbanya, what's he going to be? We all know that Jim Harbaugh spoken well, and Morgan Fox has played very well in his first 2 seasons with the Chargers. But it's also about, or is this his third? Yeah, this is his 3rd season. Yep. So it's just about what is his defense going to look. The secondary I have questions about. I mean, you have Asante Samuel Jr. on one side, but then on the other side, who is it going to be? Is it going to be one of the rookies that emerges? And I know Tahib Still is a guy that to look for in the slot. Then Cam Hart is a guy that really played well when he was at Notre Dame. I remember when I was out there, everyone talked about Joe Alt. Everybody talked about Cam Hart. Now both of them are in LA and everything, but Cam Hart it's gonna take a while. I saw his film recently against Marvin Harrison Jr. He did a really good job on him a couple of years ago. So that's definitely interesting. But I think those are going to be. I think that's going to be interesting to see what way they try and fit this scheme to fit their players. But again, I still don't think we're going to know anything until week 1 when they lace them up against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that's when you're really going to find out what kind of team they have. Ryan Merkel said Staley got the coaching job for his defensive knowledge. Turns out that was his biggest flaw as a coach. Yeah, no, that's 100% right. And guys vouched for him. And unfortunately, it just wasn't one of those that worked out. Brandon Staley's first press conference was one of the best and had so much confidence in him. God, what was that, Gilbert? An hour and 30-minute press conference? 90
minutes for sure.
Probably over Zoom. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I thought it was an interesting camp. And then I got to talk to Draymond Green as well. So I was that was pretty cool. Honestly, Gilbert, I was there with Chris. Chris Rim was also there from ESPN, friend of the show. And I go up to, and I was like, I think I'm going to go up to Draymond. He's like, yeah, bro, F it. And so I go up to Draymond and I'm like, oh, he's going to tell me no. And so I say what's up to him. And I'm like, hey, can I grab you? He's like, yeah, bro, don't trip. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I come up and I start talking to him. Then Chris got him after I did. Bro, there was a line of people like lined up where Chris was to try and talk to or get autographs with Draymond. And I just started laughing. I was like, wow, that's pretty funny. But yeah, it was a pretty cool camp to say the least. Definitely a lot of people.
Yeah,
what's up, dear?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I saw you with Draymond Green, and then I saw you. You know, there's Puka Nacua there, TJ Husmansada, obviously Denzel Perryman, Asante Samuel Jr., Deion Henley, and you got all these interviews. That was pretty cool to see, man.
Yeah. No. It was definitely pretty cool to be there. Athir, how are you doing? Dan will be on in about 20 minutes. So yeah, Dan will be on here. So make sure you stay tuned. Gilbert, let me go real quick to. Have you watched The Receiver at all?
Actually, I did start watching. I think I'm on episode 2. Oh yeah, I'm halfway through episode 2.
Okay, so there's a scene where Davante Adams, Netflix, don't be assholes. I pay my thing.
Let's not get a strike. We're in danger right now.
This shit is fucking pathetic, bro. Just do the fucking ball, man. Tired of this fucking bullshit.
So obviously that hold on, Vic, hold on. Before we put the background, that and this have led to speculation of his future with the Las Vegas Raiders.
I think Luke Getsy's going to utilize Davante Adams good in the new Raiders offense.
I love Luke Getsy. He's a fantastic coach.
Awesome.
I love Davante. I can't wait to play with him again.
Great. Love to hear it.
So Gilbert, What do you make of that? I mean, I know obviously Rogers walks to the beat of his own drum. What do you think of that? Do you feel like because Boomer Esiason already came out and said that he's heard that by September, Davante will be a New York Jet, and I'm definitely interested to see what your thoughts are on this because I mean I have my own thoughts, but I want to hear your thoughts first. What do you think? Because again, AOC, yes, he played well as a rookie, but now there's film on you. Gardner Minshew has been okay, but remember that's Shane Steichen's offense that we all know. Shane Steichen has done well with quarterbacks. Now it's Luke Getsy. He struggled in Chicago. He struggled in Seattle. What do you think of Davante Adams? And again, we've seen his frustration. He's been frustrated when Derek Carr was there. Frustrated here, or this last season. What do you make of all this?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you played the Aaron Rodgers clip because it's all about context and how and where they are and how they're saying it. And he's not even looking at the camera. It's kind of like, yeah, let's move on, but I'll have fun with you here and say, I can't wait to play with him. He knows what he's doing. Aaron Rodgers knows how to make, content, headlines, and make and have fun with people. And obviously, if you have Davante Adams on your roster improves. And it was just fun seeing ESPN having a serious conversation. What about Garrett Wilson? You can't stunt the growth of Garrett Wilson. You just got Mike Williams. You can't do this to the receiving court. Just shut up. Like when you get Davante Adams, obviously you have an opportunity. You go do it and you have fun trying to make it happen. It's just former players talking. Who cares? And then obviously the stuff with the stuff on Netflix, receiver frustrations, that was last year. That was when they were losing. That was stuff from a year ago. He could have complained the entire offseason saying, get me out of here. This especially when they didn't get a quarterback in the draft or free agency, no Kirk Cousins, no Michael Penix Jr., whatever. He hasn't complained. And that's why the agents had to come out and say, hey, okay, there's a lot of rumors here. Let's just go talk to Adam Schefter and say these speculation is unfounded, whatever they said, baseless speculation. Then he goes on the Shannon Sharp podcast saying, this is where
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I know what you want. I got it for you, Gilbert. What kind of a co-host would I be if I don't have this lined up for you?
How's Brady? Brady? Yes.
Oh, wow, damn! You ain't let me answer the question. You ain't let me finish the question, Tay.
I know exactly. Hey, I knew it when you said Tom Brady. I knew what you said. Let me see what he gonna say. And then you got to talk about Odie is I don't care. I don't care.
You would take Tom in 47, 48?
58 right now. Hey.
Dude, this is exactly what I took away from Davante. He is happy right now, just to go into the season and let's give it a chance one more time. Raiders, you have a nice balanced roster. You don't have a franchise quarterback, but you do have Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins. You got Brock Bowers. You have a nice offensive line, at least with Colton Miller. We'll see about the rest offensive line. You like Antonio Pierce. You like the coach. It's good enough for right now. It's good enough for a year. But Davante keeps nudging. Hey, Kirk Cousins, I kind of like that guy. Aaron Rodgers, it'd be nice to play with him again. Hey, Tom Brady, I would love to play with Tom Brady. So what he's doing is saying, I'm happy right now, but you better fix this freaking terrible quarterback situation in the future, like within a year, or I'm out. I get that AOC has some kind of pop right now. I get Minshew has won some games. They're not franchise quarterbacks. I've seen enough. I get AOC's in the second year, but you got to be good enough to just be good enough to win 9-10 games with AOC. He's not going to be your bombs away quarterback, but if you do that, you keep Davante happy for the whole year. But say you get to a rough start and it's almost Halloween and you're maybe 2-6 or 7, and Davante's going to maybe want to get a way out. But going into week 1, he's happy. He's okay, but please fix the quarterback room for a reason.
I agree with you 1,000%, especially because, again, I think the Jets are still in a weird territory where they don't know what they have yet. Mike Williams, I don't think worked out with them. I think he's going to be ready for training camp, supposedly. But we'll see what happens there. But I agree with you. If they start off rough, because remember, he was a big advocate for Antonio Pierce as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, now that honeymoon stage is over. That now last year, it was really cool. You went and you ruined the Chiefs thing, or the Chiefs Christmas. You got in there. AOC didn't have to complete a pass in 3 quarters. You were able to win that game. But now that's all done. I mean, now it's all different, and this has changed. I mean, yeah, you had a great 63-21 win against the Chargers. You beat the Chiefs on Christmas. You had some really good wins, but this is all different. This is a new year. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Antonio Pierce is able to guide through this.
Hey,
he has Patrick Graham. Yeah.
Sorry, you're in the middle of a point, but I think it's kind of funny how Davante Adams is going at the Chargers social media. I don't mind it. I like seeing it.
I actually, yeah. I mean, what do you think? You're gonna poke a bear? You don't think the bear's gonna?
I like that side from Davante. Like, okay, why are you talking social media team? So I'm actually curious to see what the social media team's gonna do on week 1 from the Chargers. Are they gonna keep poking the bear?
I wonder if the main guy is gonna like that or not. I don't think he likes that kind of stuff.
Harbaugh?
So I'm interested. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
I just thought that was actually a nice little random rivalry, but I like it.
I'd be very surprised if he enjoyed that. Now I'm sure he saw that Davante kind of clapping back at them, because Davante didn't just do it on one show; he did it on several shows.
He's pissed.
Yeah. So let's see what happens there. But you have Patrick Graham, who I'm surprised not a head coach by now, especially with the way his defense has improved every single year. You got Christian Wilkins, like you said, all those playmakers on offense. But again, if they start off rough, because let's see, if you start off slow, you're at Chargers, then the Ravens, you go to the Ravens, and the Panthers come there, then the Browns come there. They have a 3 home game stretch. Then the Bronco, two, my bad. Panthers go there, Browns go there, then they go to the Broncos, and the Steelers come there, then at the Rams, and then the Chiefs come there, and then they go to the Bengals, and then they go to the Dolphins. Yeah, that's a really tough opening. So that's gonna be interesting. Jorge, how are you doing? There you go. He's excited to see you. But yeah, Gilbert, real quick, Athir is wondering, which defense should he start week 1? Chargers versus Raiders or Bengals and Patriots?
I know people already have their fantasy football drafts, but it feels
crazy.
Feels a little too soon for me, especially for a defense question, because you need to see who's going to play, who's healthy, who's not, all that stuff there. But
I don't like doing fantasy football drafts until like a week before the season.
So he has the Chargers defense and the Bengals defense?
Yep.
Oh, I will go Bengals because they're playing the Patriots. I like the Bengals defense, but they really took like 3 steps back last year. I don't know what happened with that defense a year ago.
Jesse Bates left.
Yeah, that was a big
they lost
deal.
some corners. Yeah.
But maybe Trey Hendrickson is motivated to get a contract. Maybe they do better. But I got to see again. Wait and see what the Chargers defense, as people know here on the show.
Yeah. Gilbert, anything else from training camp that you are interested in?
I'm actually we talked about a little bit, and maybe you said we're gonna get into it, but I just want to see what the Cowboys do with the Dak Prescott situation and CeeDee Lamb.
There you have 3 contracts.
And Michael Parsons, yeah, you're right.
The Michael Parsons one, I would sit him down and be like, look, dude, we're not paying you. You haven't performed in the playoffs.
Really?
He hasn't done anything in the playoffs.
He is really, really good, but you're right. When it comes to the clutch moments, we're missing it. You're right. I'm not going to disagree.
Then you're over there fighting sumos and doing all this like weird stuff. And then, I'm sorry, you have a show. Like, at least the Kelseys have won a Super Bowl. Draymond Green has won championships. Like,
was it his teammate that complained about it, or was it Malik Hooker?
Malik Hooker was the one that complained about it. So if there's already one person in there that's complaining, I wonder what the rest of the team thinks when it comes to that. Because remember, he is talking mess on that. Like, he is saying stuff.
Yeah. Well, to put it this way, and for the Cowboys fans' sake, this is good news, I feel like. But when you see reports that the team is more interested in re-signing CeeDee Lamb over Dak Prescott, it's about time. Like, you've seen enough of Dak where you got to put pressure on the guy. Okay, Dak is good in the regular season. He's a very good quarterback. Some people disagree, but I think he's very good in the regular season. He's not a clutch performer. He hasn't proven himself in the postseason. When it comes to January, he hasn't arrived. So enough is enough. Let him prove himself in a contract year. Put the pressure on him. Now, CD, he like, I get you haven't won the playoff game, but we talk about Micah. He's clutch.
Yeah.
when you talk about Micah, Dak, and CD, who's the one that steps up in the critical moments is CD Lamb. So you pay the guy first. That's a good sign that you're seeing reports. Maybe finally Jerry Jones and the family, Drew, the son there, Drew, have woken up and say, you know what? We're tired of paying our guys early. You got to perform now.
You know, it's funny. Eric Hendricks told me on Saturday he's excited about the potential. But, I mean, isn't that the way we always talk about the
every
Cowboys?
year? It's every year. They have a loaded roster, and they don't do anything.
Can you imagine 12, 36? He could be 36 and 15 in 3 seasons and still be fired this year, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
If they get bounced out in the first round.
But that's what happens when you have a whole high-profile job with a lot of talent and you don't deliver in the playoffs. He got an extra year. He got lucky. But he's got to perform. But that's why, honestly, Fernando, I'm surprised a lot of people, I'm going to say copy me. I did not have the Cowboys in the playoffs because it's just, I don't like the way they handled lame the coach, lame the quarterback. You still haven't played CD. It's kind of like, it feels like a year for falling apart because you want Bill Belichick in 2025 instead of getting him right now. It just, everything seemed weird.
There's 3 teams that everybody's saying is going to make the playoffs that I don't think are going to make the playoffs.
Which ones?
Baltimore, Miami, and Dallas.
I'm starting to believe in the Baltimore one. The offensive line is starting to worry me. And then
what
losing
the hell is going on with Lamar Jackson? What is this illness? He always has. No.
Yeah, you're right.
No. I'm not joking.
No,
but
you're right.
Last year, illness. Hey, he missed practice. He has illness. Like what's that? What's that mystery illness that he has? Because
I don't know.
And Josina Anderson tweeted out that it was pretty serious when he was in there. So what is it? Like, what's the illness that he has that or hey, laziness. But it has to be something.
Maybe it's poor diet. Sometimes these younger players don't really care about diet. Maybe that matters. I don't know.
Yeah. Are the Ravens the Eagles of 2023?
It kind of feels like it, right? You lose a couple.
No, but the Eagles made the playoffs. But that was by the chin of their
you're
chinny
right.
chin.
They just it didn't seem like
Eagles got off to that fast. The Eagles got off to that fast start where they were like 11-0 or 11-1 or something, and then they tailspun. I don't even think the Ravens can. Let me see. I don't.
The Ravens are very talented defensively. They got studs all over, but the coordinator change is kind of worrying me because Zach Gore doesn't have a lot of experience. And then the offense doesn't have a lot of talent, and then you lose the offensive linemen who were critical last year. I like Derrick Henry, but also he's older. It just, I don't know, a lot of concerns and red flags where I'm starting to buy into this hype about maybe missing the playoffs.
Listen to this: at Chiefs, Raiders come there. At Cowboys, Bills come there. At Bengals, Commanders come there. At Buccaneers, they go to the Browns. That's pretty tough to start your season. So I don't know, man. I just
division, tough schedule, a lot of critical spots.
I have some concerns about Baltimore, Miami, and Dallas, but Baltimore, that illness, and then I'm gonna be honest, like I understand we kind of criticized Odell last year for his performance, but Odell at least took corners away. He distracted teams, defenses, and everything. You don't have that now. I mean, you have Rashad Bateman, you have Zay Flowers, and then who do you have after that? And then
I like the tight ends though, Mark Andrews.
Is he going to be healthy? The Derrick Henry thing does he still have his legs under him? The offensive line's a concern. Even the defense is a concern. Jadeveon Clowney's no longer there.
Yeah.
So,
but I just like that they're set with Modabuke, Roquan Smith, and Kyle Hamilton.
No, they have they have some solid pieces.
But yeah, if you don't have the mastermind, does this kind of like tape and paste edge rushers kind of rotation work anymore? That's you got to have the guy at keys if you're gonna have kind of a little bit of lack of talent edge rusher.
I thought Wink Martindale was going to go back to Baltimore, and he ended up going to Michigan. I was very surprised by that. I thought they'd maybe bring in a veteran voice, especially with some of the younger players that they have, but they ended up. I still remember when he said that Herbert could throw a grape through a battleship. And Herbert was like, I remember when I asked him about it, he's like, what the hell does that even mean? And I'm like, I think he says you could throw a football very, very hard and very, very far.
Well, that was a game where he threw a dime to Jalen Guyton.
Jalen Guyton, yep. Yeah. Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Jalen Guyton. Okay. So, all right, Gilbert. We are moving on now to Paris. Parlez-vous français?
Do you know French?
Do you speak French? You know, it's funny. I was messaging Tyler Dragon and Emmanuel Morgan. Both of them are going to Paris. Both of them are terrible people. Not terrible. I love both of them. But neither one of them learned French. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Oh, Jorge, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. I truly somebody said that it looked like I had lost weight. That was awesome. I was like, wow. I'm like, I appreciate. Somebody commented that in the Denzel Perryman video. I'm like, he's like, you look like you lost a couple pounds. I'm like, yeah, a couple.
More than a couple. More than a couple.
Yeah. So
don't be modest.
Cool. So I appreciate all that, but I'm like, you haven't learned French to go out there, and then they're like, no, we haven't. I'm like, you guys are terrible. I'm like, come on, how are you supposed to talk to people out there? So I guess it's its own bubble. But let's go to Paris for right now. Gilbert, the Olympics are getting going this weekend. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of fun. Gilbert, what do you make about track and field? That is your area. What do you think about track and field? What's going to happen there?
Yeah,
Who should I be watching for?
Definitely Noah Lyles. He's a U.S. sprinter, and I get excited about the Olympics every 4 years because I did track and cross country in high school, so I'm really into the Olympics. I know it's not a tough sport like Dan and Day will be in the center of his high school alma mater, but you know, I did run back in the day when I was maybe 20 pounds, actually like 40 pounds, so who knows? But I'm really into track and field. I love the Olympics. I even like to watch, you know, swimming, gymnastics. I don't know who the hell's competing, but I like to watch it. You know, back in the day, we all remember Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps. Like those were like, because when the stars are there, you definitely watch. And I just want people to know about Noah Lyles. And if you haven't checked out on Netflix, the reality show Sprinter, it's kind of like receiver or quarterback, but for the track and field world. And Noah Lyles might be the next Usain Bolt. That's very high praise, and I don't think they might ever be a Usain Bolt. But if he wins the gold medal in the 100 meters, 200 meters, he might be the closest to it. He doesn't have the stride. He's not a John Jones where you have the length and you just beat people for that. But he was so dominant in the 200 where people are saying, you should try the 100. And just to try the 100 out of nowhere without training, and you're winning world titles, you're winning U.S. national titles, and now he's one of the top contenders in the 100. And he would check out that documentary Sprinter. You see the champion from 3 years ago or 4 years ago? There was COVID, right, in Tokyo. The guy was from
2021.
21. The guy who won the 100 was Italian. Came out of nowhere because it was just a weird Olympics. But the guy won the gold medal and then like just disappeared. Like he has like a hot wife. He was like royalty in Italy and just like disappeared. Nobody knew the guy's name. But now you got some star power. Noah Lyles with the 100 to 200 on the women's side. Obviously, we know about Sha'Carri Richardson. She's the one with the long nails, the nice hair, who got busted for weed, I think 3-4 years ago. And she was right here, and then she fell. But now she's on her top of her game. So if she wins the 100, beats the Jamaicans, she will do pretty well and become a star. So Sha'Carri Richardson, Noah Lyles, Gabby Douglas in 200 meters. Those are the three names we should know. But I'm excited for track and field. I'm not an expert by any means, but I will definitely be watching, and I recommend people should be watching too.
You know what's crazy? At one point, Athir, I'm going to get to your question in a second. We're doing Olympics right now. As soon as we're done with the Olympics, I'll answer your question real quick. Keep your pants on.
Sorry, got at least some Olympic talk for the next couple.
No. That's what I'm interested in. Oh, I'll get to that. Yeah, which one are you most excited about?
Between Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson, I definitely want to see what they do in sprinting events.
I'm interested to see Simone Biles back after the whole mental health stuff that she went through, and I think there's a documentary on her. But isn't it crazy to think at one point we had Kobe Bryant, Michael Phelps, and Usain Bolt in the same Olympics? Like,
was Simone Biles part of one of them too, or no? Was she after?
No. The 2012 were the Michaela Maroney, the Ali Rasmussen, those girls. Michaela Maroney's beautiful. I saw her at a Charger game one time when they were down in when they were over here in what's it called? The soccer stadium. That thing, yeah. By
the way, what happened to Charmander on your shirt? By the way, I got the red here for the fire. Oh, there he goes. Okay, nice shirt.
It's all on here.
The original the four horsemen.
Exactly. You've never seen Michaela Maroney, Jorge? You should see her. Yeah, Michaela Maroney's beautiful. Like she's the one that with President Obama, she was the one that did the side eye when she got silver. She was kind of pissed and she did the side lip or whatever. Her and like President Obama had a like viral video or viral picture. But look her up, Jorge, Michaela Maroney. But Team USA basketball, I'm a little bit nervous, Gilbert, because I've been hearing a lot of people saying that this is better than the Dream Team and that it's as good as the Redeem Team and all this stuff. Bro, you almost lost to South Sudan. South Sudan the other day, that has only been a country for 15 years, I believe, and they're in a civil war. You won by 1 point. Then today, they barely beat Germany. Like LeBron kind of, in a sense, put his team on his back and was able to win the game. But damn, like they just do not look in sync. Anthony Davis has played harder for Team USA than he's ever played for the Lakers. So I was very surprised. And I like Anthony Davis, but Team USA is Jorge found out who Michaela Maroney is. But I'm just and then you have Steve Kerr coming out and saying like, oh, the world is kind of caught up to us. No, bro, we're Team USA. What do you mean the world is caught up to us? Get the hell out of here with that crap. No, I'll be honest though. The like everybody has improved. You have basketball teams from all over the world that have improved, but I don't know. I'm not a big I don't know. I think they'll win the gold, but I don't think it's gonna be like blowing dudes out. And
I'm not even sure they're gonna win that the way they've been looking. But for now, do you remember,
because Spain's good? Spain is good. There's some other teams that are really good that could give you some trouble, especially if they're lazy the way Team USA likes playing offense. Defense has been a little bit weak, but then you have Joel Embiid. I don't even think he's an American, is he?
No, I thought the same thing, but I don't want to say all that.
And then you screw Jaylen Brown, like just because he tweeted out crap about like the guy from Nike, and so I don't know. I just think it's all weird.
By the way, Fran, Noah Lyles, he got famous actually. Do you remember when he had a hot take and he went viral because all the basketball players got pissed off when he said NBA players that win the finals, they're not world champions. Why do they call themselves world champions? Because you don't play the world. I actually agree with Noah Lyles. Like the world games are totally different from the NBA. You need to beat countries to become a world champion. I get the best players in the world play in America, but it's a totally different game. You need to be physical. You better have chemistry. Like I get that they're not the 5-star recruits or whatever, all-star players, but the world game is different. So Noah Lyles, you're correct. You got to win against countries from different whatever world champion is different from being an NBA Finals champion. And Kevin Durant got pissy. LeBron James got pissy. Everybody got mad at Noah Lyles. He's right though. Look at them struggling against the world.
You know what's crazy? Even Draymond Green told me, he's like, Steph Curry's been in the league for 15 years, and this is his first time.
Actually, when I watched your interview, I was actually surprised that Steph Curry.
I had to look it up when we left. By the way, we did 3.5 hours from Crenshaw down to San Diego. It was crazy. Yeah, it was a long time. But having Daniel and little Daniel in the car kind of makes everything go by a lot faster, especially with all the jokes that were being shot out. Not at your expense, Gilbert, so don't worry about that. But no, I know LeBron's 40. I just mean like, come on, like you could like, and then Joel Embiid came out and he's like, we're too old. Then what the hell are you taking all these old players for?
Yell at Steve Kerr and Grant Hill for making the roster.
Yeah, no. And then the whole Kawhi thing was so weird. So I don't know.
Chemistry matters, and people forget that. You want to see the star players together. I get it, but chemistry matters, and that's
Canada, France, and Australia are going to be hard to beat. Yeah, no, all three of those are very tough.
You know what? I'll say right here, they get a silver medal. Sorry, I'm American, but I don't. They're not good right now. I feel like
that's interesting. All right, let's move on real quick to WWE before we have Vic come on. Gilbert, there's a hot rumor right now that Survivor Series could be at the Clippers' new home of Intuit Dome. I think that's the name of it. But real quick, before we talk about that, this is what their new home kind of looks like. Oh, shoot. There we go. What the hell? Hold on. That's the way it looks. The seats light up. Can you imagine if when there's entrances and stuff, and you get that stuff lighting up, like when the Wyatt 6 come out and it lights up
I
like
know,
that.
right?
Like, man, they could do a lot.
It's like a remote control on their seats. What is that?
There's a rumor that the final boss could be making his way there. Can you imagine his entrance with all that stuff? So, Gilbert, what do you make of that? How excited would you be if it is in our backyard?
It's very cool that it might be in LA and also at a very shiny new high-tech arena, but it feels a little like it's a Clippers home. It doesn't feel as exciting. It's kind of like, it's a Clippers. I don't give a crap. But yes, Steve Ballmer's loaded. I don't know. Microsoft went down the shitter for the last week or so.
Joey Porter Jr. could not make it to Dayon Henley's camp.
Oh, he's gonna go
because his flight got canceled 4 times.
Yeah, and I also part of when I went to Cancun for my sister's wedding, we got delayed like 3 hours. I was glad that we missed the whole Microsoft shutdown because that sounded like a nightmare. By the way, we missed it by like 2 days.
We're gonna get into that when Dan and Dago, because that's something that he wanted to talk to about. So we don't think we haven't we're done talking about what happened with us. But by the way, Virginia, Jesus, Mexico will beat LeBron. That's a good one.
Hey, why not? I'll be so conflicted on that.
Go ahead.
It's cool. It's just I just kind of have this weird like a taste. It's a Clippers arena, whatever. But it's cool. It's gonna be high tech. I can't wait to see it. Actually, one of my good friends invited me to go see the Intuit Dome. I guess they're kind of like a first look, but I couldn't make it. I think it was this past weekend. But yeah, everybody's excited about this arena. I think Bruno Mars is gonna open it in August. So to have Survivor Series there in Inglewood in November, I'm guessing, right, Fernando, will be very, very cool. And to have the
November.
So the thing is, like, we don't even know what the final boss plans will be. Maybe he comes out in Survivor Series, could be SummerSlam, maybe Royal Rumble for the road to WrestleMania. But we do know that he gave something to Cody Rhodes. So if it's a Survivor Series in LA, we better be there.
Yeah, no, I completely. It's going to be the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so that'll definitely be interesting. I'm interested to see what this is going to look like, especially in a stadium like that, so high tech. What can they do? I mean, we've already seen, like, on Monday, mommy came back to WWE. That's been interesting. Her and Liv have already been feuding. She's been pissed at Dominic, but they showed mommy, like, the Rhea Ripley. They showed the elevator doors opening, and they followed Rhea Ripley all the way into her entrance and all the way to the ring. Like, can you imagine the different things that they could do with it in the Intuit Dome? That's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. So I'm definitely, I think that'll be pretty cool to see. By the way, for that, supposedly they're planning a Bloodline versus Bloodline steel cage match. So that'll be
definitely want to see that.
Yeah. War game. So it could be the Rock side versus Roman Reigns side. As of right now, all indications are Roman will be coming back at SummerSlam on August 3rd. That is going to be a lot of fun, to say the least. And then Gilbert, just real quick, look at what happened with Solo in Mexico City. A fan took a video of this. This is pretty funny. Check this out.
Bro, he's in the zone right now. I love how
I think he's having a lot of fun with it. And right before we move to boxing real quick, I saw this on Twitter and I actually thought it was pretty cool. A grandma, I guess, was watching Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania, and you can hear her. You can hear her cheering Cody on. Look at You're never too old, Gilbert.
Real quick for now, because obviously you're the expert here. Has Cody Rhodes' title reign gotten better? Is it still kind of a snoozer?
Yeah, that honestly, Jorge, I wish that was my grandma. I would do anything to have my grandma here, but no, that is not my grandma. I wish. But I think he's gotten better. I just think I think now that he's been feuding with Solo in the Bloodline, I think that's kind of brought something good at like something. But it all depends on your opponent as well. And so I actually think that that has been really good. That I think that would be really. I think it's been really good ever since he started feuding now with Solo and the Bloodline. So I think he's gonna get even better. He was on a podcast the other day, and he asked he was asked, do you think The Rock overstepped at any time? And he said, no, I think The Rock was fine. The only thing is he did bring Mama Rhodes into it, and she does not like being in the spotlight. He's like, usually she can fly without anybody knowing who she is. When she went to London, we had to put a security detail on her because everybody knew that she's Mama Rhodes now, and now she's out there and everybody wants an autograph. So, and then he asked him, it was the Chris Van Vliet guy, the one that we met at WrestleMania. He's like, did you keep that belt, by the way? He's like, the one with her name on it, my blood. We're still trying to get it from The Rock. So yeah, there's blood on it from Cody Rhodes. The belt that says Mama Rhodes that the Undertaker choke slammed The Rock with. So let's see if they get that belt and they're able to use it. But
real quick, speaking of the Rhodes family, I got to watch Iron Claw on the plane. One of these trips here. I thought it was very good, and to learn about the family and how sad the things occurred for the family. Supposedly they're speaking of curses, they're very cursed.
Yeah.
But and also you talking about like the camera angles and the shots for WWE. You could tell in that movie, like the reason why that promotion company didn't work out, they didn't have the visions for the future. They make fun of camera angles, and like you got me thinking about the movie. So, but check it out, definitely.
And Triple H has done a great job with it.
Yeah.
So definitely pretty interesting. Gilbert, moving on now to boxing. Steve Kim tweeted out, boxing reporter. He tweeted out that he talked to Lomachenko's agent, and that he said, look, Loma's not thinking about Gervonta right now. He's having fun. He's relaxing with his family. That's what's going to end up happening. He's going to be taking some time away. Maybe at the end of the year he'll come back, but as of right now, there's no he's not looking towards that. Gilbert, what is your impression? Why? Because a lot of us thought that this fight might get done for October, maybe November, but now it sounds like maybe next year is probably the best time. Obviously, I think Steve Kim even tweeted this out. Now people are going to say, oh, Loma's ducking Gervonta. And then you go into the comments, and obviously fans are like, oh, he's ducking him. But obviously we all know that's not the truth. What do you make of this? Are you a little bit disappointed that that Loma's kind of taking a step back? And what do you think is next for Gervonta?
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed because I think this is one of these fights where, like, you know, high action, very exciting, but you kind of know where it was going to end because Lomachenko's older. He's already lost to a couple of younger champions like Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. That's a questionable loss there. You wanted to see it because they're two exciting punchers, great style, and you want to see Tank Davis fight a big name with, you know, some good pop. But you know, I'm not gonna follow Lomachenko for saying, you know what, I don't want my heart sign in it. I don't want to work out. Good. A lot of fighters just force it for a paycheck. He has the luxury to say, you know what, I'm not gonna force it for the money. So I like the honesty, and I know in today's world, especially boxing, you can't say things like, oh, I'm gonna go be home and be with my family. I'm not motivated. Obviously, you get called soft, but I get it, Lomachenko. You're in your late 30s. You've done enough in the game. It was kind of a strange career because he kind of postponed his career for the Olympics. He won 2 gold medals, and he kind of came a little old into the pro ranks, and he got really aggressive early on in his career, and he got a loss really early in Salido. So it's been a strange career, but he hasn't ducked anybody. He fought Salido early. He fought Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, whatever. He's a great champion, but in a way, I'm not saying I'm that excited, but the matchup in the chess game of a potential showdown with Shakur Stevenson, who Stevenson's getting a lot of crap. He is a boring fighter. He doesn't care to entertain the crowd. Gervonta Tank Davis is a total opposite. And Tank Davis has power, but he's very skillful as well. Shakir might be a little more skillful, but he doesn't have power. So I kind of want to see if Tank could handle a guy who's just as crafty, just as skillful, ring general, could cut the ring. Yeah, maybe you win because you're not afraid of his power, but I want to see that he's younger than Lomachenko. Maybe in a way we get a better fight in the long run. And I think Shakur Stevenson doesn't have that profile, that high name. We're like, no, it's too soon. We got to marinate. We want pay-per-view buys. Nobody's buying Shakur Stevenson. So maybe he's a free agent. He had a terrible last fight with Top Rank. He just says, you know what, give me a couple million. I don't care. I got to make a name for myself. I'll go fight Tank right now. He could have, besides the whole rehydration clause, he could have the bulk of the money, 70-30. Let's make it happen. I would love to see that fight. It's just Shakur Stevenson is not a big name. He's not exciting, but you get in the ring with an exciting fighter like Tank Davis, maybe that's enough to make yourself a name. Maybe you get a rivalry or a trilogy out of it. Sometimes when you lose a couple and you get a couple paydays after, Marco Maidana against Mayweather. Sometimes you just fight your ass off and you get a second payday. I would love to see Shakur Stevenson against Tank Davis.
I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with this, because obviously Tank is looking out for somebody. Shakur is looking for somebody. I saw Shakur and Ryan Garcia went at it on Instagram Live the other day. The funny part is that after they got done crap talking to each other, they're like, I actually like you. And then Shakur's like, yeah, I like you too, man. You're actually pretty cool. And so I thought that was pretty funny. But Gilbert, that is what Jorge was asking you. What's been going on with Ryan? He said right as soon as we left on our break, he said that he's gonna suspend rehab. Wow, he's gonna suspend rehab and train his brother, because that's what family does. And then obviously he's been coming out saying that he can't wait. He wants to fight Shakur. He wants to fight all these other people. We talked to his dad. His dad said that he doesn't think there'll be a rematch with Devin Haney. So what do you think is the latest with Ryan? I don't think he's retired. I think he's going to come back as soon as the suspension's over. I think he's going to come back and he's going to try and fight. But like I told Gilbert, if I was him, I would train my ass off for the next year and come back ready to go so I could do 2 or 3 fights next year. Well, at least 2, because you'll be unsuspended next May. You could easily get off 2 fights in the year, because you're going to be another year older as well. But what do you think, Gilbert?
I would love to see him fight Teofimo Lopez. Lopez has kind of taken a nosedive since he beat Lomachenko.
That's crazy.
I don't know if he's had the same discipline he had before beating Lomachenko. He's had some kind of snoozers. He had a loss to Cambosas. He had a couple boring fights after that, and then he beats Josh Taylor and becomes undisputed again. And here we are. But then again, a couple more snoozer fights. And I think Ryan Garcia is like Tank Davis, where he's an exciting fighter. Styles make fights, and I think Ryan brings it to opponents. So maybe that could bring out the best in Teofimo. And the most important part, they're about the same weight class, same size, same age. Let's make this fight happen. But I get that Teofimo's with Top Rank. The thing with Shakur and Tank, Shakur is a free agent. They can make that fight easily. But if Top Rank and Golden Boy, by the way, the Saudi Arabia money is coming through. They have a deal with Golden Boy and Top Rank to make fights together. So you might get like the UFC version in boxing with the Saudis. So we'll see.
That'll be interesting. Speaking of UFC, 304 happens this weekend in Manchester, England, Gilbert. Some of the locals are pissed off because the fight will happen at 7 p.m. our time, which is like 8, 9.
What is
it's
that,
about
Sunday?
4 in the morning in London. So it's gonna be 4 or 5 in the morning out there in London. So that's gonna definitely be interesting. But Gilbert, we have Tom Aspinall, Curtis Bale, Blades. You have Patty the Batty against Bobby Green. We saw Bobby Green a couple of weeks ago. You have Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad. Gilbert, what is the fight that you're looking forward to in here?
Actually, I think Patty and Bobby Green is it Bobby?
Bobby Green. Yeah.
We saw him at a UFC 300. 300. Exciting fighter. He called them out. He got the fight. I think that could be the fight of the night potential. Leon Edwards Muhammad is a rematch. Leon Edwards is on a tear, but in UFC you see a lot of upsets. And then I don't know what to expect with the Aspinall fight. I think Tom Aspinall might win that one pretty easy. Hey, but he's going back home to the UK, and I think I'm gonna side with the British folk here. It's kind of crappy. They're getting their home turf fight and they're fighting at 5, 6 in the morning, whatever it is, to please us Americans. I'm happy here on US soil, but you kind of feel for those guys there. But I don't know. It's not like the most loaded card. But I like that the UFC likes to do cards where, that's their home area and they go home for a homecoming. And you got a couple of British fighters on there. Or does Patty count? He's Irish, right? He's not. What's the other one? Is Northern Ireland, where it's technically UK, but not UK, whatever. But
Dan is gonna be so disappointed in you.
Yeah, is it South or whatever? Belfast. There you go. That is British. See, I know that enough. And then Dublin is not British. See, yeah, points for me. But there we go.
Did you see that Aspinall came out and said that he is soaking his knuckles in petrol at 4 a.m. every single day to get him to be tougher? That's what he said on he said it on oh god, what's his name? The MMA Hour. I can't remember MMA
That
Hour.
reminds me of Juan Manuel Marquez putting piss in his hands to make him tougher.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
All right, Gilbert. That is it for us. Well, not for us, but us.
Patty the Batty is not Irish.
Oh, he's from Liverpool.
Sorry, Danny Ramirez. Thank you. He's our fact checker and social media coordinator here on Compas on the Beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'm getting confused with the guy we saw at 303. Sorry.
Yeah. Who knows? All right. Oh, you mean you're talking about what's his name?
The fake Conor McGregor.
Yeah. People were giving
Machado.
Yeah. People were giving him a lot of crap for that. All right, Gilbert. Let's bring in now Victor producer and see how he's doing. For a little rapid fire, obviously. Vic, how are you doing?
Doing good. Happy to be back. Had a good 2 weeks. I know, right?
How was a booze cruise?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask him.
Oh my god. Where do I start? So went through a hurricane barrel for 1 day. We were in a hotel. Half the hotel in Galveston of our hotel it went to crap. It was like literally. I'll show you guys some pictures. It came off the side of the hotel. It was crazy. So survived a hurricane. Then we got on our boat late, like 2 days later. And then while we were coming back from Mexico back to Galveston, someone died on the boat.
Jesus, man! What?
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Rami never to travel with you.
But in between, we had it was fun. I was a little scared because
was it like a heart attack or was it?
We don't know. They didn't let us know. They didn't let us know what happened. We were on our way back, and they were like, they just announced it, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be a couple hours late to arrival because of this. They tried going back to Cozumel, and it was crazy, man. Like I said, but in between we had fun. It was a great family vacation. But like I said, between surviving a hurricane and then someone dying on the boat, it was quite the
it's like the Adam Sandler movie, the murder mystery movie. Like,
I know, that's exactly what it feels like. Real quick, let me just answer Athir's question. It will be interesting to see Jesse Minter and Herbert, just because Herbert obviously hasn't seen, he's seen it, but he hasn't really seen what Jesse Minter is going to throw at him. Obviously, we won't know much off of the first 4 days. Monday will be the interesting day because that is when they can put pads on. So it'll be interesting to watch them in pads. But yeah, as of just check back in for Wub, Dan, and Dago, and I will jump back into there and talk about everything that we see from practice. Gilbert and I will be there on Wednesday, so make sure you guys tune into that. We'll have something after to talk about what we saw, who was there, who wasn't. I'm sure everybody's going to be there, except for Jeff Miller. But I'm definitely interested to see what happens there. But yeah, Athir, obviously it's interesting. It's a new defense that. It's a new defense that Herbert's going to face, so we'll see what happens between them. But definitely interesting stuff. Just make sure you guys no, Jorge, I think it's just going to be a recap with Gilbert and I don't know if we'll go live, just because obviously the next day Gilbert and I are going to be going to some other camps, so it'll probably just be a stand-up that we do from there. We talk about it and then we post it. So just make sure you guys obviously hit the notification button and stay tuned because a lot of cool stuff is coming up. All right, Vic, let's get into rapid fire. And, the only thing is, Jorge is wondering if you flew Spirit.
Oh, I did not. I was on Southwest. So
okay, there you go.
I think I cursed Gilbert because I told him on our way to cover the fights. I told him I hate Denver in the airport there, and then he
Oh
got to
yeah.
experience Denver, and I feel like I cursed him because of it.
Honestly, I thought about damn you, Victor, because I've actually never been delayed in Denver, and then you tell me that, and I got a 3-hour delay. And with the 4-hour layover and a 3-hour delay, that's 7 hours in Denver. I never want to see the airport again, but I might be going again for Broncos camp soon. But I hate that airport.
Did you see the mole people underneath the airport?
No, but I did see the gargoyle, and I know that's haunted too. So yeah.
That shit's crazy. All right, let's get into.
All right, I'll make it quick. Just kind of, we talked about training camp storyline. So on our last show, we kind of talked about coaches and GMs that are under the most pressure. So as we head in to this season, for you guys, what team is under the most pressure to kind of take the next step? Not I know the easy answer would be the Cowboys or the Eagles just because of what happened last season. But is there a team for you guys? Other options are like the Saints with Derek Carr. You have the Bills, the Jets, the Bears, Packers, and Texans. Like for you guys, what's a team that has the most pressure, whether it's within or just from the outside noise going into the season?
Am I going first? Because I'm on the big
screen? Go ahead. Yes.
You know what? I think it's definitely the Buffalo Bills. They are trying, I guess, take two with Josh Allen in this post-Stephon Diggs era. And you've had a GM who's been there a while, Brandon Beane, who's kind of been okay as a GM. He's got some hits here and a lot of misses. And then you got another coach who's been there a long time in Sean McDermott, who hasn't gotten past the AFC title game. So at some point, okay, you made Diggs kind of like the scapegoat in some kind of way. So if this also too for Josh Allen, it's a lot of pressure because when you have a franchise quarterback, you better be the guy who's important. Not, damn, I lost my Debo receiver, number one wide receiver. He helps me become good. Like, no, you better prove that you're able to be good with anybody. The Tom Brady is a Peyton Manning as they elevate people's games. So if Josh Allen is not doing that for Khalil Shakur or Keon Coleman, the rookie, who did they bring in? Curtis Samuel, right? So if you're not doing that with that core, and you still got Kincaid, Dawson Knox, you got James Cook, then maybe you're not that guy, Josh Allen. You're very talented, but pressure's on you. If they don't make the playoffs, maybe you fire Sean McDermott. Also, like what do you do? Like you had this core group. They got so close, but couldn't get past the Chiefs or the Bengals. And you kind of like a quick retool. If this goes south and they're not good, you might have to have a full rebuild. And can you afford that with Josh Allen getting paid? And when you have a quarterback who's making money and also he's very good, you don't want to go through a rebuild. Like it's crappy. It's kind of like the Matthew Stafford Lions days. Like, where are you going with a franchise quarterback? So the Bills better make something happen with this new kind of part two core group for Josh Allen.
What about for you, Fernando?
I might go with Joe Shane in that. Yeah, that's how you say his last name, right? Yeah. I'm very surprised of how much the Giants have let out in this Hard Knocks. I've liked it.
Me too.
But I'm just very surprised of how much they've let out. He's let out some stuff. We've seen that Mara, the owner, was not happy that Saquon went to the Eagles. We know about all this stuff. I think he is the one with the most pressure because they let this come in. They were chosen for the Hard Knocks. You decided not trade up to go get a quarterback. Well, we haven't seen that episode yet. It comes out on Tuesday, but you didn't go get a quarterback. You stayed with Danny Dimes, even though there's been questions about Danny Dimes. You didn't bring back the running back. I think he has a lot of pressure going into this year. And then a lot of people are coming out and they're thinking that Brian Daboll is a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. But then you kind of look, there's always going to be a donkey and there's going to be a genius. Right now, Joe Shane looks like the donkey and Brian Daboll looks like the genius. So I think he has the most pressure to face because there's going to be a lot of question marks if this fails for them once again after this year. So I'm definitely interested to see what happens here.
Because I want to keep this quick and I want to get Dan in here sooner, I'll just say this. I'm not going to pick a winner here or anything like we usually do, but I'll just say this. I've loved the axes that we've gotten from the Giants. even Megan has watched. She doesn't even know sports, and she's been asking me questions about like the salary cap and stuff like that. And it's been a great watch. I mean, and it's been years since I wanted to watch Hard Knocks, and it's been a compelling one. If they keep doing this and they give this kind of access, I would would want to see this every offseason because honestly.
Even Dan liked it. My bad. Even Dan liked it. I mean, and that's, you guys know how tough it is to get him to like.
But that's the thing. Like, I think Dan can maybe agree with this when it comes on. Like, it's good for the viewer, but if you're a fan of that team or your opponent, it's like you're giving a lot of bulletin board material away.
Yeah,
like those Eagles are gonna be very motivated to beat the Giants.
Yeah, and especially because remember, with Drew Lock is on there, they say fuck the Eagles. Like so that's going to be another thing that really, I don't know. And that's what I told you guys, a donkey and a hero. And it looks like you've kind of chosen your donkey in a sense.
Yeah, but Joe Shannon's been great on that show. But yes, he's not looking good sometimes.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on the hot seat. That's for sure.
Jaden Daniels didn't look good on the show. No. What am I supposed to do on this route? Throw a touchdown?
All right, why not? He kept forgetting to play too, by the way.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's why I love that access. That was honestly really good. All right, Fernando.
You know, the Raiders would have been like, you ain't getting almost nothing. You getting a couple of things, but there's
even the Chargers with Harbaugh. Like,
but see, that's what when Jeff jumped on with Dan and I when the schedule came out, he's like, because Dan and him got into the show all in. He's like, this is the time to do it. You know that Harbaugh's gonna at least have a competitive team. Why not just go all in and actually show what's going on with the team? You know, Harbaugh doesn't care if they lose. I mean, whatever, it happens. But if you're ever going to have a show like that, I mean, that'd be the perfect one. That's why I'm interested to see how they're going to do the AFC North in-season show. Because I didn't like the way they did the Dolphins. I watched that one recently. I didn't like that one.
I have never watched an in-season one.
In-season one is not that good.
Yeah, so like I said, if they give me more of this, like I've been watching, I can't wait to watch the episode tonight. So that'll be something that I'll be
taking a look at.
Is it
today or tomorrow?
I think it's on. Yeah, no, it's tomorrow. You're right.
Tomorrow. Okay.
I'm thinking. Yeah, it's on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern, on Max. Even though they don't pay us. All right. So
the very best that
with Justin Jefferson, now the highest paid receiver. You guys talked about Davante Adams. Who should be the next second highest paid receiver? CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Davante Adams. Go ahead, Fernando.
Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon,
shut the fuck up. Sorry.
Hey, we're still in training camp mode.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Man, I got to go Tyreek Hill on that. Just because I'm going to be honest. You know what comes with Tyreek Hill. You know, 1,700 yards, 1,500, right around that range. You get about 10 to 15 touchdowns out of him, but you also get the fact that he is going to talk. You don't want him talking. You already signed Jalen Waddle to a contract. Tyreek Hill has been the best receiver, I think, the most consistent receiver in the last few years. I think you have to pay him. I think you know that you're not going to win a Super Bowl without Tua. Well, hell, not even a Super Bowl. You're not going to win a playoff game. You haven't won one in 24 years. You're going to need Tyreek Hill. You're going to need Tyreek Hill happy. You're going to need Tyreek Hill to get that thing going. I think the Dolphins are kind of teetering because, to go along with your first question, I think there's questions now being asked about Mike McDaniel, and there's going to be questions if they don't win this season and if they don't win a playoff game. So going back to that, I think Tyreek Hill needs to be the guy that is paid to keep happy, sign him to a 2-year extension, a 3-year extension, whatever you want to do. But I think Tyreek Hill needs to get done ASAP because you need him happy, and he's one of those guys that whatever mood he's feeling, that's the way he's going to play. So you need him happy, you need him going, and I think it's important to pay him because he was talking during minicamp. You don't want him talking during training camp. You want him focused on the season.
I got a high bar right now because Jorge gave me a compliment for a change. He said I spoke facts, so let me try to speak facts again.
You're about to go with what Athir just said.
No, but I will put this up here because I like Chase, but he had that one injured year, and then he didn't really have Joe Burrow last year. Like, I don't know. You gotta be in my mind to be like, man, you're really good. He's really good, but like, CeeDee Lamb did better, Tyreek Hill did better, Davante Adams was healthy. When it comes to like just who cares about situations and quarterback and roster, obviously Davante, Hill, and Jefferson are my top 3 in terms of talent, and then maybe you can make a case for Chase and CD top 5. But I wanted to go CeeDee Lamb, Fernando, but because the Tyreek Hill and Davante are a little older, but Tyreek Hill just came out for what, almost 2,000 yards receiving. I get the system is catered to him. Like he doesn't have the same system that Davante has with the Raiders, more old school, kind of clunky, and whatever happened last year with Josh McDaniels. But he was thriving with Mike McDaniel, and Tua was better than AOC. I get that, different situations, but when you're that age and you're still that dangerous, you're still that productive, where you're flirting with history and 2,000 receiving yards, and you're just a game changer. Like he is for sure one of these guys where like he has a hands in his ball, the ball in the hands. There you go. You could change the outcome of the game. You could change the momentum. You could change the situation. Tyreek Hill is that guy. Before I mess up my words,
Yeah,
I'm gonna agree.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I asked, I have a, when I was on the cruise, when I married into a cowboy family, and I was asking, I was like, hey, who would you want to have sign first out of all those cowboy guys? And they, I was told Micah Parsons, which I was kind of there, like, you can always get a receiver. And I beforehand I thought, well, CeeDee Lamb has to be the guy, right? He's the youngest guy, and you guys are, or even Jamar Chase. But I'm with you guys. I think it's got to be Tyreek Hill. He's, I thought he was going to take a step back once he got traded to the Dolphins, just because I'm like, he has Tua, but it as we've seen, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, he's still going to produce, and that goes to show you that he's kind of bulletproof with that. So that's been kind of amazing.
Damn, him on the Jets, and if they would have gotten Aaron Rodgers, that actually would have been really interesting. But I think Zach Wilson would have been thrown under a semi if Aaron Rodgers would have had that torn Achilles and Zach Wilson was the quarterback for Tyreek Hill, if we're being honest.
And he doesn't have the OC or the play caller he has in Miami either.
That's another reason why I couldn't trust Aaron Rodgers talking about Luke Getsy being a good offensive coordinator. I'm like, dude, you're over here like parading around this dude who went to the Broncos and shot the bed in one season. Like, I can't trust your recommendation for an OC.
No, we'll see. All right, guys. Last one. Last season, Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler were the first NFL head coach and GM to be fired. The Raiders fired their coach and GM after week 8 of the season. Which coach is on the hottest seat going into the season? Now, you can choose, if you want to play it safe and say who will be the first coach to get fired, or you can go with who's on the hottest seat going into the season. I mean, the easy answers are McCarthy. I can give you other options: Nick Sirianni, Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniel, Doug Peterson, or Brian Daboll. But if you want to go another way, that's on you.
This is tough, but you know what? I'm gonna just give Sirianni and McCarthy some credit. They've done something as coaches. They've gone to the playoffs. They've won playoff games. Honestly, it should be Robert Saleh. If Robert Saleh is having another terrible year with another terrible Jets offense, and say Aaron Rodgers is healthy and he's the quarterback, and they're having a terrible season, they can't protect them. The defense is not creating turnovers. Like, what else do you need to see in Robert Saleh? Like, I think we're all waiting for Robert Saleh to do something with the franchise quarterback. He has an older one, but it's Aaron Rodgers. So if they're not doing it with Aaron Rodgers, or even if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again, no more excuses. You can't use the injury excuse anymore. So to me, a guy who's never been to the playoffs, hasn't gotten the Jets to a winning record, it should definitely be Robert Saleh. But I get just more pressure maybe on McCarthy, Sirianni, guys like that.
Fernando?
So I want to go with Jorge's Matt Eberflus.
That's a good one too, actually.
But I'm going to go Antonio Pierce. I think the honeymoon stage is over. I think the honeymoon stage is over. You have the pressure from Davante. He's frustrated. I mean, we've seen it in the show. You've seen it time in and time again. AOC is the quarterback. Gardner Minshew's the quarterback. They have a team that I personally think is good, but they're just missing the quarterback. I think there's other teams that are like that. There was another team, I think Tennessee is like that too, where they have such a good surrounding cast that they're just missing a good quarterback. But I think here,
no love for Will Levis.
No, wow. I'm not a big. I mean, I think he'll be okay, but I don't know if he's going to be that guy. But Antonio Pierce, for some reason, I think the honeymoon stage is over. He has these legal things that are going on with whatever the hell's going on the side. There's some legal stuff that's there. There's the pressure. He's now the head guy. He got Luke Getsy. He was going Cliff Kingsbury, which obviously raised a red flag to me, just obviously going with that route. If this unravels this year, I could very well see. The thing is that I don't know how much money the Raiders have, and I don't know if they can go get a splashy coach.
They just fired McDaniels after what, 18 games, whatever it was. I forget.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's what you're going to be paying 3 head coaches then, or 3 head coaches. But the question is, and Jorge, the reason why I'm going with this is because think about who's out there. I know Bill Belichick is old. He's out there. Mike Vrabel is out there. And so is Pete Carroll. Those are 3 head coaches. And hell, you could even upgrade Patrick Graham and make him your head coach and not let him leave. But I'm just saying, I think there is a little bit of pressure now with him. I think if this does not go the way, because Raider fans right now, you see him on TikTok and you see him on social media and everything. And not Joe Morley. Joe Morley, I think, does stuff for trolling and stuff. But there are some Raider fans that are out there thinking like, hey, we have a chance at the playoffs. And I'm like, I just think winning 8, 7, 8, even 9 games, I think that's great for them, especially with Antonio Pierce being a first-time head coach. But I just think that it's going to be a short leash for him, and I just think that there's a lot of moving parts to this, and I really want to see what the relationship is like between him and the rest of the staff. I mean, him and Tom Telesco, Champ Kelly, all those guys. I'm interested to see what all that looks like and what these players are going to look like on the field.
I'm going to give you my 2 cents real quick in terms of the Raiders and Antonio Pierce. As you talked about, he's also going through bankruptcy. There's also that whole thing with the wife. And so he needs to win right off the bat. That's number one. As you said, he does have some pressure on him. A lot of the players kind of backed him, so that's why he got the job. But as you mentioned, Mark Davis doesn't have any connection to him. Like, yes, he brought back the Raider way, but as you mentioned, you have Vrabel out there, you have Belichick, you have other coaches out there. He's always been a guy who Mark Davis wants the splashy guy out there, which has been a problem for him. So I think in terms of that, and then I'm with you, Gilbert. I mean, Robert Saleh, it's time to put up or shut up. Like we know what defensively they have the best defense on and we're talking about fantasy. They're the number 1 rated fantasy team, fantasy defense. If you want to go get one, I mean, they're loaded at every spot. The thing is you're relying on a 40-year-old quarterback, and so you pretty much, you and your GM, that you put all your your marbles or whatever you want to say on Aaron Rodgers. So, this season comes up to whether Aaron Rodgers can produce or not. And if you don't, they're going to run you out of town, and which sucks, but he'll have a GM. He'll have a defensive coordinator job, right away, because he's a great defensive coordinator.
And that's why I told Gilbert a couple of weeks ago when you were in Oklahoma, I told him, look, the only team that I think could really match up the Chiefs health for health, I think it is the Jets, just because they have playmakers on offense. They have a good running back. They have a great defense. So that's the only team that I could see matching up well with them. But Gilbert, real quick, James Wheelock is wondering, are the Raiders strong enough at the quarterback position? I don't think so. Gilbert, you've been very adamant as well.
Well, it depends what you mean by strong enough. I think they could get to a wild. They're not a Super Bowl contender by any means with this quarterback group. I think they could maybe flirt with a wild card spot because I like their overall roster. I like the defense. I get the back end is a little suspect, but I like the coordinator. I like Patrick Graham,
Gilbert, sus,
Wilkins,
not suspect, sus,
whatever, sus. It's a little sus. I think they might get a top 10 defense. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think they might.
They finished top that's the thing too. Like they finished top 8 last season, and that's where a lot of people forget about that.
So
Why don't you come
it's
out
a
like
balanced roster.
why don't you come out like somebody else and say they're gonna have the #1 defensive line in the NFL?
I won't go that far.
I know. You know
They're
where
a
I'm going.
balanced roster, and
Pissed
they
off
have
by
a
Southwest.
left tackle. I like Samir White. I think Pierce has proven enough that he could produce a running game. You got Davante Adams with Brock Bowers, and you got blanket the guy from the Patriots who came to the Raiders.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, they need a third wide receiver. I do like Trey Tucker. He was
Trey
impressive last
Tucker
year.
is one of those guys that everybody's expecting a breakout. Like you talked about,
Jalen Guyton too.
Yeah, like,
Oh, yeah.
and you know, I know this team really well, so I can tell you this: Aiden O'Connell is going to win that job. And one of the things that I've seen, and you know, maybe I'm the only one just because I'm close to the situation, but what I've seen from Aiden O'Connell, this is a guy that was, you know, a 4th round pick. Nobody expected. We saw going into last season how people felt about Brock Purdy. We all, you know, talked about he's not a top 10 quarterback. I'm not saying Aiden O'Connell, but he has a ability to make that next step. We've seen it with quarterbacks in year 2. And in that system, to be able to pick up a system like the Patriots one that they ran, that was really impressive. But as you guys talked about, I've told you guys, this is the one team where I don't know what to expect because I don't know anything about Luke Getsy. I mean, we saw him with Justin Fields, and I've looked at some of that tape with Luke Getsy, and I'm like, Justin Fields missed a lot of wide open throws where the guys were open. He just couldn't get to the second or his third progression. So that'll be something to kind of keep an eye on during training camp for the Raiders.
It's just it feels like there's a ceiling, like a max. Like, yeah, maybe a wild card, but they're not gonna win a playoff game. And then it just feels like an 8 and 9 team. Then you're in danger of being mediocre and not getting the top 5 pick, top 10 pick. And like, do you want to be in mediocre land? It's a dangerous line that they're playing with Tom Telesco and Pierce. But hey, if you want to just make the playoffs and do what you did a couple of years ago with what's his name, Bisaccia, that's fine too. But yeah, the Derek Carr's perks in there. You want to keep doing that over and over again when you're in mediocre land. It's not the best, but they have a good roster. It might maybe the better roster than anything that Derek Carr had. He had Khalil Mack for a year, but the whole defense was terrible after that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even think he's as good as like what Dak Prescott was when Dak Prescott came out. Like I remember with Dak, at least you saw something that gave you inkling, like, okay, this guy might
gave
be
you
able
a Super Bowl feel for a bit.
Yeah, like I don't think AOC can win like I'm not trying to say like put a team on your, because there's no such thing as that. Like you need the defense, you need the offense, you need everybody. But I just haven't seen that spark from him that I like that I saw from Dak. I think with Dak you kind of did see it. Now you don't see it, and everybody's like, no, you don't see anything. I get it, but at the same time, like with Dak, you kind of saw something. You didn't have question marks when he took over as a starting quarterback. With AOC, you still have a lot of questions, especially if the Raiders do finish, like Gilbert said, 6 and whatever the shit, 12 or whatever, or 7 or 11, and they go draft a quarterback in the first round. Everybody's going to know that first round quarterback is going to be kind of penciled in as a starter.
Well, look at last year. You had a top 13 pick, but you just missed the first round quarterback because they all went early. Like, what if you lose a couple of games? Then you're not in the same issue, but you won't have Brock Bowers. I get that.
But then you have people hyping it up saying, oh, I was told that if Aiden O'Connell was in this draft, he'd be a top 5 quarterback. Or my bad, a top 5 draft pick. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, everybody knows that there's no way that would have happened. I mean, is he better than Bo Nix? Who knows? I mean, obviously we don't know that, but he ain't better than Drake May and not better than and obviously we don't know what Drake May is, but I mean, he's not better than Caleb Williams and all those other guys. So but I think the kid has something. I just don't know, because like there are games where like he played well, like, but see, the thing is, I go to that Chargers game and the Chargers had given up. So then you go to that Chiefs game and he didn't complete a freaking pass for 3 quarters. So that's kind of the give and take that you kind of got to see. So I agree in a sense with Vic of let's see him this year and let's see how he does. But at the same time, I still think he can get beaten out by Gardner Minshew, because Gardner at least has been in different systems. AOC really hasn't. And I think this is going to be interesting to see how he plays in this system with Luke Getsy. Because like I said, it's been a struggle with him. I remember I talked to Eric Williams last Friday, and he knows Luke Getsy from the Seattle Seahawks, and he's kind of like, there's not really a lot to like from Luke Getsy. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, thank you, Vic. We'll bring you back right now to talk a little bit. I've liked that you guys have started that. Let's talk about what Gilbert's co-workers and him have going on. So we'll do that in a bit. Let's see real quick. Pedro, what's up, man? How are you doing? We appreciate you. Miss you too. Pedro, I don't see either one of those happening. These guys don't want to pay those guys, so that's gonna be, I don't know if we're gonna get that to happen. Those two guys are gonna command money, you're gonna command paycheck, so I don't know if that happens. Real quick, Athir, he's coming. He is coming. He's warming up the pipes. Rick says, gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm coming from Chicago. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Listen to your show. We appreciate that. Of course, it's okay that you listen to our show. We appreciate that. Do you think the 49ers are going to explode in the middle of the season? I don't know if, like, the middle of the season. I think they're going to start off pretty well. The thing, Gilbert, I think you'll agree with me, Brandon Aiyuk is going to be the key to that. If they can get Brandon Aiyuk to come on in, I think the 49ers will be probably the best team in the NFC yet again.
Yeah, put it this way, Rick. If they somehow convince Brandon Aiyuk to just come in this season, we'll give you some incentives, or hey, we promise not to franchise tag you, and you come into the season, Fernando, we've been on an agreement here. When they have Debo and they have Aiyuk, they have everybody, they're probably one of the best teams in the NFL. So I don't see some kind of exploding in a bad way. Explosion as in scoring 30 points per game.
Yeah, I was wondering if he's trying to say implode or explode.
Yeah.
I think if they get him to buy in and then Ricky Purcell is able to come back in, I think they'll be fine.
Put it this way, Fernando, if they don't win the championship this season, I don't think they're ever going to win it. Like, the window's closing fast. These guys are getting older. Debo's getting older. Kittle's getting older. Trent Williams is getting older. I know Nick Bosa's in his prime. Brock Purdy, like, he's young, but Brock Purdy without this core group, is he still that guy? I don't know.
And you're gonna have to pay him pretty soon.
That's the thing. So you got to do it this year.
Yeah, exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you wanted him, you got him. Here he is. Let us go now with he's been
90
waiting.
minutes, man. 90 minutes. Man, okay.
You're on mute.
I'm muted. I'm back.
Yeah.
These damn computers. Where the hell is the IT guy when I need him? Here I am. Hurricane.
Gilbert's wondering if that's a Chiefs hat.
I just want to tell you first off on 2 points. 2 points. You ignorant sluts. All right. Patty the Batty's from Liverpool. Don't you hear his fucking voice?
I don't know why I thought he was Irish. He sounded Irish.
Fan. He's a Scouser. He even has a podcast dedicated to Liverpool FC.
Really?
Trash, second rate. Yes. Shows how cultured I am. All right. The other thing, to say there's a Chiefs hat, that's disgusting. This is freaking Hattie B's from the greatest place on earth, Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out Athir. Shout out Rick. Shout out Pedro. Shout out Jorge. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You already know what it is. This is Hattie B's. This is the best chicken place in town.
I went there one time. It was very good. That was a game that Gordon fumbled. Yeah,
right.
Gordon fumbled like 8 times in that game.
Dan.
Oh, Melvin Gordon. I remember that.
Yeah.
I kid you not. Like, if I ever have to leave San Diego, Nashville or Tennessee might be the place, dude. That looks pretty nice out there.
Dan, I gotta start off with you.
Well, hold on, Robert. My bad. Hold on. Robert had a good comment. Hold on. What's up?
Bring in the energy. I like it.
Dude, this fool has been like, when are we coming back? When are we coming back? Dan's been excited.
Bro, you're lucky I don't take notes, because there's a lot of things I would have put on here today, dude.
I'm sure.
Speaking of which, Dan, let's just start it off right off the bat. I don't know if you saw the NFL's top 100 list came out, and I think they're trying to piss you off, Dan.
They're still doing that?
Yeah, I think they're trying to piss you off.
Let's see what is on this list.
83. Wow.
They're gonna say it was a bad year with Brandon. Say that I don't understand. Seriously, this is just my opinion. Again, if you don't like it, don't care. Right? I don't understand where the slander for Derwin James is. That's like a guy, he's a tight end who plays safety. You can do so much with that guy. The problem is, I think, where they try and do too much or this or that. Like, if you remember a few years ago when they tried to put Kenneth Murray at edge, I said, what is he going to go to edge for? He's neither physical. He neither gets in the run game. He doesn't tackle. I'm good. Put Derwin James' ass down there. I bet you he could take on some tackles and look pretty damn good. This is, the all-around player you want on your, back end of your defense. He can cover. What? He can blitz. What? He can tackle. What? He can hit. What? People think twice. I don't care what they say. People think twice when Derwin James in there. You don't think Travis Kelce is going to think twice before he gets FU'd rock bottom or whatever else? It doesn't matter. He gets speared again. It doesn't matter. That happens, dude. So This is garbage, disrespect. I don't want it. Get it off the screen.
Dan, real quick, do you know who this guy is right here? And I'm sure you'll like this.
Let's see.
It's 1 through 6.
5.
Why?
It's not short and it's not long, and it's kind of just in an odd spot,
Son of Odin.
Thicker headband.
That was because I didn't have a thin headband. Usually I wear a thin one. I already ranked that one 5. I'd say 4. I'm saving 6 because I know it's coming.
Hair with hat.
Probably number 1. It's just easy.
What is this? Who posted this? Who posted this?
Who doesn't love wearing a good hat? So that's number 1.
And you're doing it right now.
Who posted this? I didn't even need to see who it was. I could tell by that angelic voice. I could tell it was the son of Odin. The hell? Who posted this? Who cares about his hair? I don't. Who cares?
NFL. The NFL posted
This
that.
is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. We want to be taken seriously and do all this stupid stuff as a sport or whatever, and then they come out with stupid sideshow Bob crap like this. This is ridiculous.
It's for the content, Dan. Get with the new times.
How are you? This is the stupidest part.
Look at this, Dan.
In the NFL, you need content when you're a $1 billion organization.
Look at this, Dan.
Funding a football. That's
that was
great.
an 80-yard punt.
What's up? What can't he do? I've been saying that for years.
Is that where Robert got it from, though? What's up?
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Look at that.
What is that? Swinging it? What the hell is this? Swinging it into a screen?
Look at this.
Oh, now he's a softball player.
Does he have his own reality show now?
I don't know what this is. He's just all of a sudden got a bunch of cameras. Yeah, I know he's a stud. Oh, this one? Go. Oh, I was pissed he wasn't at Luke Combs.
The summer of Odin or what?
I was pissed he wasn't at Luke Combs. I was so pissed about that. But whatever. The son of a, I don't know what to tell people. He wakes up in the morning and he pisses excellence. I can't tell you any more than that. I've been knowing this forever. Don't listen to the Joy Taylors, the Shannon Sharps, the whoever of the worlds. They don't know diddly squat when they try and hate on them. They will rank Herbert around 60 this year. Just wait and see. I'm sure they will. Number one, these are all a bunch of losers, I'm sure, making these lists. Who make these lists? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, the important one is the one from ESPN where they have like anonymous rankings from
correction.
the
There
GMs?
is no important list.
Well,
There
GMs?
is no important list. It's all stupid because you know who they're going to put number one?
Well, of course. Mahomes.
I would, you know what?
But
I
I'm
wanna-
just
I
saying,
wanna
there's a
make
list
bet
with some
with
kind
you.
of credibility. Is the one with the anonymous GMs, and they had Herbert like 6 or 7, I forget.
Who cares? Who
7.
cares? I think
Yeah,
it's so
TJ
funny.
Stroud above Justin Herbert.
Trash. I think it's so funny that these guys have to go anonymous to make a ranking on players. Like that to me is stupid, but whatever. I am willing to make a bet with you, Gilberto. I am willing to make a bet with you. He is not even the most valuable player on his team, Patrick Mahomes. I'll tell you that. I bet you anything. All right. I bet you anything. If you remove Herbert from his team and you remove Mahomes from his team, I bet you anything the Chiefs make the playoffs. Maybe we'll win a championship here or there. We'll see. But I am willing to bet you anything the Chiefs would be fine without Patrick Mahomes.
Andy Reid as the coach, I'm assuming.
Obviously, he's the coach. Who else would it be? That's the other thing. You guys like to forget. Well, I'm not going to go on.
We talk about coach killers all the time, more in the NBA than in the NFL. Like LeBron's a coach killer. KD's a
He
coach
is.
killer, right? How about the fact that Justin
Plexico?
Herbert college had 3 head coaches? Justin Herbert in the pros now,
Coach
4
killer?
years into his career.
Who the hell's
3
this
head
guy?
coaches
Who's
now that
this
Harbaugh
bald dude?
becomes head coach of the Chargers.
Who's this
Maybe
bald
it's him.
dude?
Like we all know he's got a generational arm. I can make every single throw you want a guy to make. I can sling it 70 yards on a line, and all that stuff's great. And we remember that great game against the Raiders a couple years ago, last game of the year, trying to get the Chargers in, and the Raiders were fighting for a playoff spot and all that stuff. He had 2 great wide receivers at his disposal.
Call him
Who
a
is
coach
that
killer.
bald stooge? So now it's his fault. This is how you know this guy's an idiot because I want to say, you know, I think he had a crystal ball. I think he might have had 2 other ones. All 3 of those guys left for jobs for bigger programs. I don't even know what this guy's talking about. This guy's an idiot. You see what I have to deal with? And they want to say that guy knows just because he's on a damn TV. What show even? I've never heard of that. I've never seen this ball stooge in my life.
I know Plaxico on the show.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Who cares? That guy's an idiot. A coach killer. Are you kidding me? What game is he watching? What a dumbass.
Oh, it says
Jesus
cartoon. Is
Christ.
that his name cartoon?
Roll,
Cartoon?
Roll the tape, dude. Jesus. You know, apparently because he has no hair and the sun beats down on that son bitch, it kills all his it kills all his brain cells. I don't understand how in the same sentence he says Justin Herbert is a coach killer and he does all these things, but at the same time he's a generational talent. He's the guy you want. He makes all these throws, throw on a dime, all this other crap. Like, dude, you're just an idiot. I'm done with it, honestly. What is this? Jim Harbaugh will be the most hated name in the Chiefs fans forever. He will end up the dynasty this year in AFC when it, hope to God, from your lips to God's ears. Let's see it.
Slow down,
I'm waiting to see it from your lips to God's ears. But like I said, you know, talking earlier, like Herbert hires losers. Exactly, Rob. Exactly, Rob. This is unbelievable, dude.
Dan, what did you make of what Davante Adams said about your team?
He's right. Are you talking about the social media part? You're talking about the social media part?
Yes.
Yeah, he's right. Stupidest thing ever. Like, I say this every year with the stupid schedule release. All I need, because I'm simple, I just need a beautiful little Instagram post of week 1 through 18, 22, whatever the F it is at this point.
Great.
Give me a nice little box. I screenshot it. I can put it somewhere. It's nice. You
date,
put
time, location, opponent. That's it.
That's all. That's it. That's all I need. You give me a damn cartoon that I need a PhD to watch. I don't understand what the hell is going on. I don't get it. No more.
You have to watch a TV show and then get to the schedule.
No more. Anime.
Go through Pop-Tarts and then get to the schedule.
I'm done. I'm over it. Cut the department. 0 funding. I'm over.
Defund the social media team.
Dion? That's probably his son. Is that Dion? How old is he? Isn't he like 60 and he's still in the club? Come on, Dion, you got a family, dude. You got a family to
prime,
think
bro.
about.
It's prime time.
Dan, who's the quarterback of Colorado?
Shador Sanders.
Listen to what he had to say.
Shador.
Listen to what he had to say at media day.
Him operating with a certain obligation. Does that?
Oh, I know that voice.
Was his son and being in the spotlight, as you just answered, that it's a different level in how you feel you have to perform. Do you have an obligation to perform at a different level?
It's been that since day one. I remember first media day when I was in HBCU. I said, well, we won't lose a game. I'm undefeated in the SWAC, so I already know what the expectation comes with. I know where everybody's Super Bowl. I always feel never had to stay grounded because I would never want to be that guy, look back, and not being able to take advantage of the moment that we have right now.
That is so cute. That is hilarious to me. He looked at him with a straight face and said, I'm undefeated in the SWAC. Oh, wow. God damn, dude. Round of applause. Wow.
Right there.
You know, they're lucky we don't have time to look up their schedule those years or that year or whatever to see who they played. You know, I can't even name one. Maybe, is it Boiling Green? There was something. Oh, here we go. The architect himself.
Talked about potentially having 4 first-round draft picks this upcoming year.
Who's the 4th? Who's the 3rd?
Door coming right here to Las Vegas to play for.
I forget about Shiloh.
Just your thoughts on the city and the possibility of him coming.
I'm not a gambler, so I'm not with all that. But that'd be nice. He has a wonderful head coach and a wonderful president in this organization that I think I'm meeting today, actually, right? Yeah. So that'd be nice. I've been looking around the stadium.
Talk to us.
It's a nice stadium. It's nice.
Talk to us.
Why are you interrupting the man? Jesus, let him get it.
He was already whispering. I couldn't even hear what the hell he was saying. What did he
basically
say?
Said he loved for Shador to play with the Raiders. That they're a top flight organization. They have a great head coach. They
Top
have
5 organization. Where has he been? Has he not been watching the same games I've been? That's the part that's funny to me. Like, everybody gets pissed because I say, Goff is garbage, overpaid. Tua's garbage, overpaid. Oh wait, he hasn't gotten paid. Mahomes isn't as good as they think he is. Who else? Who else am I missing? Josh Allen pisses me off.
Lamar Jackson.
You know what? I just want to say thank you for bringing that up.
2-time
I
MVP.
find it. Again, it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Tell me who votes for the MVP. Who votes for the MVP?
Journalists.
Guess how much that means to me about diddly damn squat. It doesn't mean jack to me. All right. That's the same thing as the Ballon d'Or. I don't care about popularity contests because, again, the MVP conversation is a joke anyway because it's only for quarterbacks. It's a joke. But anyway, not to veer too far off down that.
You probably laugh when Messi got hurt, huh?
Oh, I loved it. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I'm waiting for him to retire. I can't wait till LeBron retires. After LeBron retires, maybe then I'll watch basketball again. I don't know, though. That's a scary thought. I don't know if I can do basketball anymore. That's why watching them suffer at the Olympics, that's funny to me. I can't stand it anymore. I'm not going to get into it. They're all trash, whatever. Anyway, I loved all of a sudden the little doubt that's coming into Gilberto's mind about the Ravens. But here's a guy who's been saying it since last year.
I'm not saying it's
I don't know what I'm saying.
Offensive line.
I don't know what I'm saying, Frau. You hear that? Who the hell is this guy is what he kept saying every week. Yeah, zoom in or else I can't see anything. Yeah, that to me, he's rated 93. Are you kidding me? It's a joke. It's a joke. Dion put a nice little call to EA and said, what was their? I think they had a solid overall rating. Didn't they have an 80-something, a high 80 for the team?
Yeah, they had they were rated.
They won 4 games. How the hell does that happen?
I think Shedeur is talented, but you got to win more than 4 games in college. I'll say that.
Dan, can you read this out loud?
It says scouting Shedeur Sanders, Colorado quarterback, similar in style, skill, the Pro Bowler. Oh,
you don't want to be compared to Geno Smith.
I knew Dan was gonna love that one.
That's rich. They want to compare him to Geno Smith now. Geno Smith all of a sudden is a Pro Bowler. Wow. Where's that tape?
I like how they had to kind of add it better. Geno Smith, but a Pro Bowler.
Trash. Yeah, that's called window dressing right there. That's called framing. Framing the issues. That's what we talked about in world history. Shout out to all the boys. Anyway, it's a joke. It's laughable. I can't wait to see what happens.
Top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Patrick, Tua, Lamar.
You've been waiting weeks for this.
Dak. Baker Mayfield.
Is that Mayfield?
Yeah, he said
this guy's
Dak.
an idiot. His comment is as honest and truthful as he is faithful, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Tua number 2, and he's not even the second best quarterback in his division, let alone the damn league.
I never thought we'd see Baker Mayfield in the top 5.
I know, for real.
Baker Mayfield.
Gilbert Athir is asking, you've been invited to Coach Harbaugh's house to explain yourself after winning the AFC West.
Oh, like in the future? Yeah, why
hopefully
not?
Hopefully, yeah. Get the exclusive. We'll take some
I've never, I wouldn't. Yeah, bring the cameras, put them on Compas.
If anything, we'll put a body cam on your ass. There you
I've
go.
never been afraid to talk to people. Like I've said, I said this about you and I was wrong. I'm not, because when you're okay to admit you're wrong, it's okay. It's not a big deal.
And I think that's the biggest thing, right? It doesn't matter. Like, Frau was kind of, joking with me about a player that I've kind of criticized or whatever. Like, no one wants to be more wrong than me, especially when they play for the Chargers. No one wants to be more wrong than me. But until you prove it, I'm not going to say it. Watch the damn tape. I don't know what to tell you.
Dan, can you read this list off?
See, I'm not even going to dignify this because of the way it's broken down. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They put Stroud after 1 season. I don't even think Herbert's an elite. Oh, he's an elite. Oh my god. See, I don't even know who this is.
Him is better than elite?
Yeah, apparently in New English lexicon.
I thought elite was the best
thing I've ever seen.
It doesn't get better than elite, but whatever.
It's stupid. Nothing's real anymore. Nothing's real. It doesn't matter. Words don't mean anything like they used to.
We're already putting in Love as elite. Okay.
They put Love as elite. It was
and look at the game changers.
Same with I agree with this. Game Changers 2 is not one of them. Sorry. Wild Card.
Kyler Murray's on there too.
What? I don't even see that name anymore.
Hurts wild card. He should be a little higher.
That's true. No. See, that's the problem. That's the problem.
He
He's a
went to
wild
Super
card.
Bowl.
He's a wild card. In a perfectly sphered system, that's how they made it.
Yes,
He's
Kellen
done
Moore
more.
now is
He's
his,
done more than Trevor Lawrence, more than Mayfield, more than Watson. He's done more than Cousins, Tua, Goff. Well, yeah, Goff, but yeah, he's better than a wild
Good.
card.
I'm glad you left off a person off that list. I respect you for that a little more now, but you put them in there. Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to take those guys. Tua is garbage wherever you put them. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to take it.
Real quick,
You gotta start a GoFundMe for Tua to get paid, Dan. Come on.
More like I'm gonna take away from them and I'm gonna keep it for me. I don't care about if Tua gets paid or not. Oh, that was hilarious. You brought up this meme. That's hilarious, dude. That is hilarious.
Dude, I cannot
hilarious.
wait to watch Marvin Harrison Jr. in the pro game. But yeah, that's pretty funny.
He's gonna want to kill Kyler Murray, I think, at some point.
Little kid.
All right. Well, dude, he plays too much razzle dazzle scramble, and I'm sure he's gonna want the ball. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, let's bring back in Victor producer and let's finish out the episode with this. So Gilbert and thank you, Dan, for those 10-ish minutes with you. That is always fun. The MMQB came out. They took a hard look at the next 5 Super Bowls, and they
took a hard look.
They predicted who will be the Super Bowl champions in the next 5 years. So obviously, where is it? Where's this? There it is. All right. So Gilbert Manzano had the Detroit Lions,
I like that.
No, hold on. No, sorry. Gilbert had the Kansas City Chiefs, the Detroit Lions, the San Francisco 49ers,
don't care,
the Houston Texans,
don't care,
and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Just one, baby, just one.
That's all I need. I'm not selfish.
Albert Breer had 2 Chiefs Super Bowl victories.
Trash.
He had one for the 49ers, one for the
cares?
Bengals,
All
and
right.
one for the Chargers.
like
Connor
that.
Orr, friend of the show,
Shout
one
out.
for the Chiefs, one
Who?
for the Lions.
I like that.
One for the Bills, one for the Eagles, and one for the Chargers.
I like that.
A lot of Charger love.
And then Greg Bishop, who's also been on the show, he had one for the Chiefs, 2 for the
Trash.
Lions, one
Ooh, I
for
like
the
that.
Ravens,
No.
and one for the Dolphins.
Oh wow.
The Dolphins. Oh, wow. You wanted to be different. Shout out to, what was his name so I can shout him out?
Greg Bishop.
Greg
Yeah.
Bishop. Shout out to you. You really wanted to be different.
You got to
I
have
appreciate
one that's out
it. I
there.
respect it, dude.
Gilbert, just how tough was it to come up with this list? And what did you think about what your coworkers had to say about them? I just read off, obviously, friends of the shows. You guys can go look at the rest of them on si.com. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 individuals who come out and give Super Bowl their 5 Super Bowl predictions. But I read friends of the shows and Gilbert.
Yeah, so it's not in any particular order for winning the Super Bowl in the next 5 years, but just like it could be 3 to 5 teams to win the Super Bowl in the next 5 years, and I want it to be somehow realistic and also a little out there to look at the future, but apparently I wanted to get one team that nobody else got, which that didn't happen. So I guess I got all the popular teams here. Like I shouldn't be too surprised about the Chargers, but the Jim Harbaugh coming in because I think they need the most work. But I like Jim Harbaugh. I like Joe Ortiz. So they feel like more in a few years. But everybody, Breer or they all had the Chargers in there. And when you have the quarterback and you have a proven coach, maybe it wasn't a little bold. Like somebody had, well, I know why, but 2 people had the Vikings. I was surprised. One was my boss, who's a Vikings fan. I get that.
JJ McCarthy, baby.
Yeah, but somebody else who's not a fan. I was very shocked about that. But
especially because Gilbert has them at
3 and 13
14
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so I will go on all these Vikings podcasts and say I was wrong. I'm the guy who was wrong. But yeah, so I want it to be realistic. Like I get people are tired of the Chiefs, but in the next 5 years, they have Mahomes, they have Andrew Reid. They might retire like Kelsey, Reid, and that might but I can still see them winning one in the next 2 years, or just one. Some people had them getting 2.
Done. I think they're done.
Well, we'll see, but I'm not ready to say that.
I'm ready. Damn it.
Ben Johnson and the Chiefs will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, in the future. But to me, I feel like the teams that can win it. I went for the teams that can win it this year or next year. Lions, 49ers, Chiefs come to mind. And I think that the Texans and the Chargers are the next step kind of phase. But it was so hard because I'm like, I like the Bengals and Joe Burrow. I didn't pick them. You know, the
Nobody
Ravens,
did, right? Nobody picked them.
A couple people did. They're like, I picked the Bengals. I want to say,
Breer and Plume picked the
two
Bengals.
people. So I get that because of Joe Burrow, but I was kind of a little surprised a lot of people were not high on the Bills, on the Ravens. They got votes, but like I think the Ravens only got 2 and the Bills got 2.
Bishop and Golditch went with the Ravens. The Eagles got Golditch and Orr, and the Rams received 1 vote by Golditch. Golditch was the one that kind of went, the Chiefs, and then everybody else was kind of like an outlier in a sense.
And real quick, we wanted to get Mitch on. He was a little busy, but check out his Olympics podcast for SI, Daily Rings. Maybe we'll get him in the future. Mitch Golditch is in charge of the Olympics for SI. But yeah, so he's one of my coworkers, and I'm a little annoyed that I didn't get one team that's a little out there. Maybe you guys could tell me a team that's a little out there, but yeah, Chiefs, Lions, 49ers, Chargers, Texans are my top 5. I'm a big CJ Stroud guy and D'Amico Ryans. I thought that would be kind of my surprise team, but everybody likes him this year, so not really. But yeah, the Ravens and the Bills not getting more love. It surprised me a little bit, but the more I think about it, they might get shut out in the next 5 years because it's just so damn competitive out there.
I was going to say, too, they haven't gotten any love because they've choked. How many times haven't they choked? I'm done seeing it. I'm tired of it. Both times they had to knock out this idiot, and they failed. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to watch them.
That's the thing. It's kind of like Michael Jordan with the Bulls. Like, you got your shot at the guy. You couldn't beat him. Then see you later, right?
Okay, I would pay a little more respect to Michael.
Okay, sorry.
Whatever
his
middle name Jordan.
You know what I was trying to say. But they had. But to your point, they had their shot.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, can I give you a team? The Packers. I mean, they have
0 votes.
They have a roster right now that outside of one of their edge rushers is all under 30 years old. And then, of course, I know Dan doesn't like the coach, but when you look at what Gutekunst has done with that roster since they got rid of Aaron Rodgers, I like what they're doing. I'm still the only thing that would kind of keep me from kind of picking them is, do we trust Jordan Love? Are we there? The other thing too is, are the Packers going to become that first team that has 3 quarterbacks in a row that go to the Hall of Fame? I mean, that would be crazy. We've seen 2, we haven't seen 3, so just something to kind of.
I was very surprised, Vic, that nobody gave him a vote because of how well they played with Jordan Love, but the defense worries me. And then if I see Love cutting down the turnovers in crunch time, then I would have been more in. But I love Love as a potential player.
It's year 1.
But yeah, but I'm surprised 0 votes for them.
Yeah,
7, especially because I mean, look at who else got votes. Like the Vikings twice. Like
I don't get that.
Even
the Dolphins. Yeah, I don't know.
So, I completely agree with that. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on Jordan Love real quick. Vic, I work for Athir, I guess. He wants to get your thoughts on the division. He has the Chargers winning the West, the Jags winning the South, the Bengals winning the North, and the Dolphins winning the East. I don't agree with almost any of those.
No, the Dolphins won't win.
I don't want to give away any of our future shows here because we're gonna pick some of those. We're gonna do the first. What is it? 5 teams that make the playoffs and the 5 teams that didn't from the year before. So I kind of don't want to give away some of that stuff, but I'll say this: none of those outside of one of those teams, I do like the pick, but I'm not gonna say which one.
The Jags. All right. No,
I agree, Rob. I agree, Rob.
Robert
Bills
said
are
what I love at the
fools.
Bills is the fact that they traded with the Chiefs, so they could go get Patrick, who beats them every year in the playoffs, equals Chiefs.
Keep doing it over and over.
Let me tell you. So my thought process is when it comes to Jordan Love, the reason why he's holding in, I'm sure he wants to get his money, but it's also a security blanket just in case if that was if what we saw the last few weeks of the season and in the playoffs was just a one-off. If potentially it was just hey, spark of the moment, he played really well, he played out of his mind, but maybe he can't replicate that. I think that's why they're doing the hold, and they want to get paid just in case, because you never know. Now teams are going to have film on him. Now teams are going to be able to study him. It's going to be completely different this year for Jordan. I say CJ Stroud? I meant Jordan Love. My bad.
No, you said Jordan
I said
Love.
Jordan Love.
That's what
Okay,
I thought.
cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why they're really pushing for him to get paid. I'm sure by the end of the week he'll be paid, but I just think that that's the big hurry. They're like, you know what? Let's get it done before the season starts. In case anything happens, well, boom, he's already has his money. He'll be paid. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but I think there's a big question mark when it comes to.
I wonder,
Love.
does he get more than Trevor Lawrence? Because
yeah, because Trevor Lawrence right now is kind of the benchmark.
Yeah, he got $55 million per year. He's the same as Joe Burrow. Like, in a way, I think he's better. I think Love is better than Lawrence. But like, you're gonna pay Love for 8 really good games. That's a lot to do,
And the thing is that he won a playoff game and then he beat they beat the crap out of the Cowboys. So that's kind of also what he has over them. But at the same time, I can't remember. And I'll be honest, he played okay in the divisional, right? Like he did all right. Like he didn't. I mean, he was against the 49ers.
They almost beat the 49ers. Yeah.
Didn't he throw 2 picks at the end of the game?
But he
That's
did
what I
throw
was
the
gonna say.
thing. That's
I thought he had a few turnovers. Yeah,
which he kind of still has that in his DNA, where he's a little reckless sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, we saw that at Utah State. I remember when there was rumors that the Chargers were going to draft him at number 6. I'm like, I don't think so. He's a little, because I remember watching some of his stuff and he was a little bit reckless with the ball. And I'm not saying that he is still now, but I'm saying now it's a full. I know he already played a 17-game season, but now you're going to get film on you the whole time and you're going to see what he's going to be. So what are the Dolphins going to pay Tua?
If they pay Tua $50 million, you might as well should be looking for a new head coach. That ship is not going to get off the
We need
ground.
to do like a breaking news show if they pay Tua that, so just to get Dan's reaction.
Oh my God! Just going back to what you said about that's a lot to pay for Trevor Lawrence or Jordan Love. It's ridiculous. The market is ridiculous. It's unbelievable to me how we're just paying average guys a ransom. I just don't get it.
Well, Daniel Jones is making $40 million a year.
I don't get it.
But you see how that's outdated now? It's outdated because I think it was going.
And I remember everybody called him an idiot. Everybody called Gilbert an idiot.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
They said, "Why don't you get off your burro and take off your sombrero and actually look at?"
I'm looking at the market, baby.
Yeah, Robert. I think that's what Love is. He's gonna want to be the highest paid. That's exactly.
I will definitely ask for
the
that.
highest paid.
That's what they're going for. That's what all these guys. Trevor Lawrence is.
Remember, Dan.
Dak is the one making the most money this year.
Remember this, guys. Derek Carr was once the highest paid quarterback in the league. So just take that.
Dan, what did you make of Gilbert's list? Just real quick.
List. I already forgot who's on it. I'm surprised he didn't pick the Chiefs 5 times. I'll say that and move on. He had the Chiefs, the Lions, the 49ers, the Texans, and the Chargers all winning a Super Bowl. He picked 2 favorites, 1 sexy pick, and then to the Lions and the Texans, I say I apologize to you. The Gilberto curse will be visiting you pretty shortly. So good luck to you all.
I'm gonna get 0 right in the next 5 years.
No, he's gonna get one.
All I need is one. All I need is one. All I need is one.
I'm telling you that's what Eric was saying. He's like, your guys' show is gonna be incredible if they actually do pull it off. Because the one below us might go nuts.
Dude, I'd be live from Bourbon Street if it's this year, or live somewhere else
in San Francisco.
I would be gone.
All right. Real quick, let's do a quick avocado roast. That is Vic's baby. Vic, have you watched anything interesting?
Oh yeah, went to go see Twisters. Love that movie. I thought it's Twisters.
Oh.
Twisters.
Is that Twister?
I saw you guys' boy Luke. What is it? Luke Combs. He brought out the cast. That was pretty cool. They checked the beer with them, but I really.
Wait, you were at that one?
No, I wasn't. I saw the video.
I was like, damn, you were there.
Really cool. No, I was not. No, I know who he is, but no, I was.
That's my boy. That's the goat.
But Twisters went to go see that.
He knew Dan and Diego was coming out, and he wore a Chargers hat just for him.
God bless him. I didn't have to see that filth.
Yeah. Outside of that, I'm gonna go see Deadpool on Thursday. Excited for that. Yeah.
I'm not a huge Ryan Reynolds guy.
Hopefully, we'll go see Deadpool before maybe next Sunday.
We're gonna have to do it soon because obviously when football starts, I'm on lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe next Sunday. Real quick, just wanted to share some funny videos of you, Gilbert. Don't get mad at me for this one. It has a point to it. This is pretty funny though.
Look at his face. He's already worried.
Whoa, what are we doing?
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hold on.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
wow. Oh my God. So that's what we need to take for now for a bachelor party, a WWE themed stripper club.
Yeah.
Choke
Oh,
slam.
That looked more like
okay.
a rock bottom.
I got worried. Okay.
Oh my, that's
hilarious.
Speaking of strippers, jail time, and everything, did you guys see this video of R.
Who
Kelly?
said jail time?
Yeah, R. Kelly. Listen to this. He's in jail.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Is that really him?
Supposedly.
They have their phones in jail now?
No. That's him singing.
Idiot, who's recording this?
Oh, okay, yeah, probably then. They're saying that prison isn't what everybody what they make it out to.
No, it's probably the federal ones. He's probably
Yeah,
not in a federal
sneak it
one.
in.
Who knows?
By
You
the
gotta
way,
sell a couple of cigarettes for that to get the phone in.
What
I know,
year
bro.
is this? That there's chain smoking like a mother. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Hold on,
I still think it's wild how he got fired, by the way. Oh, drink.
By the way, Fernando, do you guys remember all the 4 quarterbacks that were in the what was it, the Final Four, and they all had like characters?
Oh yeah, it was Patrick Mahomes, Kermit the Frog. Wait, are you talking about that?
Yeah, there was 4.
Yeah.
It was Burrow was of course the kid from Home Alone.
Yeah.
McAllister. Brock Purdy was
Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts were the other
was
two.
John Harbaugh.
Hold on.
I don't know
Let
about that
me
one.
look for it.
Real quick, look at this new style of MMA.
That looks so badass. I'm not even gonna lie. Why can't you should cover that sport? That looks sick. I wonder how you win. That's my question. Do you have to get someone to, pass out because they're exhausted, or that would be sick to go watch? That look, have you ever been to medieval times? I've never been there, but it looks
The one in Buena Park, Knots.
Yes,
What?
I've been. It was fun.
Is it
jousting.
cool? Oh, I kind of want to go
It's
watch
worth
that
it.
one of these days. I kind of want to go. I've
It's
heard
expensive though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I heard the dinner is expensive.
Last thing, Gilbert, you weren't here, but you missed a good one.
Who's that?
Chuck.
Hold on. Everybody, watch. This is hilarious. Come on.
God damn it, you fat fuck!
Oh, who's fat?
Him.
Oh, talking about himself. Wow,
Yeah.
come on, Chuck.
I guess retirement isn't. Oh, you know what? He probably saw someone from San Antonio, and that's why he was yelling at him.
By the way, when I was in Galveston, I kept thinking about him because he said dirty ass water, and it was in Galveston. It's some dirty ass water, by the
I've
way.
seen it, yeah.
But we have an update. It looks like they'll be able to save the TNT show because what is it? Is it Max? Whatever. They put in a bid. They're going to match the bid by Prime Video. So it sounds like we're gonna have Inside the NBA back.
Ernie. All right. All right. We appreciate you guys so much for jumping on with us. We are back. We are in for training camp now. So vacation's done, Gilbert. Unfortunately for you. Real quick. So what were your complaints from your sister's wedding?
Yes.
Yeah, so first time going to
Here we go.
Inclusive resort. Great to have alcohol everywhere. It took me a while to get used to hey, is this free? Can I take this? Wait,
Did you say inclusive or exclusive?
All inclusive. All
inclusive.
So yeah, it took me a while to just take food and drinks. It's all free. Obviously, you gotta tip them because they can't. They're aggressive. Hey, you sure
Mexican?
you think?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Home Alone.
In Home Alone
Tip
too.
them.
Yeah, it's like, you sure?
Home
Yeah,
Alone
Gilbert.
too.
Tip them. You already paid the $5,000 or whatever it is
I
to
know.
be inclusive. What more do they want?
Well, I'll tell you the story because I did have a lot of ones and tip money, but by the end of the day, the trip, I ran out. And somebody, that's why I took my own bags. I took my own bags to Uber. Don't help me. I don't have any tip money. I'm not gonna give you a $50 bill. Stay away from me. Somebody got me, took my bags, they put it into the Uber. He's like, ¿Te puedo ayudar? ¿Nada? ¿Algo más? And he almost got in the car trying to get a tip. And I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry. I feel bad. But that is not
Venmo'd him.
Yeah, you're gonna have Venmo. But
what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? They don't have iPhones down there.
I knew you set me up. You set me up. They don't have it. They don't
what
have it.
a scumbag!
People have Venmo. I've seen it before. Can you
set
Venmo me?
Gilberto thinks down in Mexico
Let's
they
be
still have
real.
Wi-Fi stores where you can go in, pay for Wi-Fi, do your thing, and then leave.
¿Me paga la tarjeta de Wi-Fi?
This resort is. Wait, I'll say this. They annoyed me when like there's a bunch of mosquitoes everywhere and zancudos just biting you. And get this, they do have mosquito repellent. You know,
oh, they charge you $1. That happened to me in Mexico too.
$40 to $50 because they knew that people needed it. And I'm like, all right, forget this.
Oh wait, it was in dollars or in pesos?
No,
like
in
dollars.
No, for me, they sell you the whole bottle for I think it was $10, $5 or $10. But if you just want to get sprayed, it's $1.
Just one spray.
Yeah, like they spray you down though, but that's it.
Yeah.
What resort was this?
I don't want to give the name. Well, I don't want to make my sister get mad either. She picked a beautiful place.
But at the end of it, tell us, rotten avocado or is it ripe?
No, it's a beautiful place, right next to the beach.
But
lovely. The ceremony was awesome Saturday. It's just the food was kind of whack. It was mediocre food. Like, I get the food is free, but I'm like, I could have cooked this crap, you know? But it's just, I get when you think about it, you're catering to American people, and I'll say it, white people. And it's like, all right, like,
puro hot dog y taquitos.
Y la salsa? Hey, they're like, oh, nobody's asked for salsa in years. Well, here you go, some spicy stuff. I'm like, thank you. But yeah, and also if you speak Spanish,
they give him Cholula.
Yeah, they gave me. Yeah, they did not. I did not say tapatio in sight nowhere. Like that's too spicy for people out there. But other than that,
out there, where is this? This is Mexico.
But
isn't
it's actually
Cancun?
like it wasn't even in Cancun. We were like out there, like near one of the islands out there. So it's a little out a little by itself. You know, I guess all inclusive. Yeah. So we couldn't even leave the resort. Like it was just so far away from everything. But yeah, no fried chicken. It wasn't good. But hey, I get to walk on the beach, and there was like bar stops everywhere.
I thought you get suspenders.
Yeah, that was my sister wanted that.
That was a good Urkel.
That was my first time putting on suspenders. I could not figure it out. Like, what the hell is this? Caroline had to help me. But yeah, but overall, good time, good wedding. Saturday of the week we were there was perfect. That's it.
Congratulations to your sister on
shout out. So in other words,
can I make one more thing too? I'm with you because we went to a restaurant in Cozumel, and they didn't have any like salsa. Like they didn't have no Valentina, no Cholula, none of that. Like I was kind of disappointed, and I think you're right. They cater to the American tourists and not the actual Mexican tourists. Which I think is kind of
Americans too. That's
I know. I was about to say
those are the people with the money.
Yeah,
and you guys are Americans, so yeah, they're catering to you.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm not even tipping, so yeah, apparently they're right.
You should
care about Mexicans.
No, you should be pissed. You should be pissed they're not making homemade salsa. Who cares about the crap you can get over here? I want some homemade pozole or type salsa.
All right, Robert. Is the Canadian food good? Is there a thing as Canadian food? Sorry, but
yeah, they have waffle or.
Remember we had to stop at
they have waffles. Maybe it's Belgian
and
syrup.
Oh yeah, they got the donuts. Yeah, give me some Motsons and I'm good. We'll be there.
Spuds, I think they're called. Yeah. Are they called spuds?
Ooh. Hey Rob, what's the coldest place in Canada during the winter? We'll send Gilberto there.
You guys like the cosplay and all that stuff. You should do a winter is coming.
Yeah.
I want to go to Vancouver and Montreal one day for a guy too.
We'll send Montreal. Oh well, that's separate aside. We'll send him up in the Witcher thing and just give him a big fur blanket coat, like if he's Jon Snow out there at the wall.
I can't stand the freaking winter. I can't do that.
Winter is coming.
Gilbert has a sword in his trunk and everything. He's ready for for the cosplay of that. But all right. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again for jumping on with us. We know it was oh my God, not sure, but the 40 below. Holy crap!
Yeah, you won't see me.
All right. Again, thank you guys so much for jumping on with us. We know it was a longer show, but obviously after being golf for 3 weeks, we needed to jump into it. If you guys haven't yet, check out all of the interviews from Saturday. Again, thank you to Dan and my cousin Little Daniel for helping me out there. It was a cool way to get interviews. Dayon Henley, Draymond Green. We got a lot of people, so make sure you guys check all that out. Gilbert and I will be at numerous training camps this week. Chargers Wednesday, Rams Thursday, Raiders Friday, and Saints Saturday. I don't know if Gilbert's going to follow me to Chargers on Saturday as well. Probably not, but I will be doing both Saints and Chargers on Saturday. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Gilbert and I will shoot something and put something together for you guys so that you guys can check out what's going on in all these training camps that are here in two of them are not allowed to be said that they're in Southern California, but
they're not
scary times
for those. Yeah, exactly. But
can we get what's up bolts to 1,000 subscribers, guys? Come on, Charger fans. We hit that subscribe button.
That'll be a goal before the season, after the season. Well, we'll see.
We'll get it there in a month. I say 1 month.
Yes. 1 month.
Shut up. Well,
yes.
I don't know.
Let's go.
But again, thank you guys for checking it out. Again, we have some great stuff coming up during training camp, obviously during the season as well, but it'll be fun. Are you guys doing a preview show tomorrow for Rams or
on Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday when I'm back from the Rams camp.
Oh, okay.
It's a late practice too, so it might be a late show.
Oh shit! What time is the practice?
Rams.
I think it starts like at 4:30.
Shit on me, but oh well, you know what? At least I got to go to the gym in the morning, so that'll be good.
Excuse me.
What? What?
It's all right. We can move on.
Did you say nice?
I don't know what he said.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
He is making fun of you for being a gym life.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. All right. But so Thursday they'll be back. Yeah, Dan and I might be back Wednesday then to talk about the first day of camp. See how all that went. Maybe. I don't know yet. And then obviously we'll have stuff from the rest of the week. Hopefully Gilbert can get his colleague on Friday and we can talk a little bit about what's going on out there. I can't even say that with a straight face. All right. We appreciate everybody for checking us out. Don't forget to check out House of Horns, What's Up Bolts, everything else. Again, thank you guys so much. We are back and better than ever. We got a lot of cool stuff headed your way. But for the time being, ¿sabes qué, Gilbert? Vámonos.
Yeah, let's get out of here. It's been 2 hours and 16 minutes. I was pissed off 2 hours ago and 16 minutes about the X and premium, whatever. But glad you made it. You found it. You're here with us. We appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. But it's time to go. Training camp tour is here. Let's go. And nos vamos, pues. Vámonos.
Vámonos.